Count us down in 5, 4, and we're live.
Well, you see,
now.
-5, -6.
Our called social
-7.
security number is unbelievable. Welcome, chat. Welcome to the Nothing Ever Goes Wrong stream.
Let me actually go to
I'm
the
your host, Mr.
thing and check.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is happening.
Got hit by an ad.
Of course.
Looks good.
Everything looks good on my end. I have it on a separate screen, so we look good. But yes, welcome in, everyone. This is not your average Gateway. As many of you may have heard, but if you haven't, we'll let you know. Gateway is on hiatus until November, which means there's a couple of weekends in September before we get to October where we needed something to happen. And so rather than have quality content from someone like, I don't know, Zan or Connor, I'm here. I'm DMing, and I'm sorry. But I do have some wonderful players that I would love to introduce to all of you. And so we're going to go around the horn and we're going to talk about them. And we're going to start off with the guy I just mentioned, and that's Xanalis Grimm.
Hi, that's me. Hey, do you like TTRPG content? Boy, am I in a lot of it. Normally Sundays there's some stuff going on, but we're also on hiatus tomorrow. There's a lot going on this fall season, it would seem. But on Monday, twitch.tv/XanalisGrim at 7 p.m. PST, we have some more Stalwart Souls, a D&D game I run for a few friends of the channel, including one Albert Bosco here. Then, Tuesday, twitch.tv/Distortion Devil at 1 p.m. BST. We have some more Vecna Eve of Ruin. So if you like more spooky intrigue in the lands of the cosmos, I guess, right now, that's there for you. And then twitch.tv/MontyGlue on Thursdays at 7 p.m. PST for some more Dungeons of the Mad Mage. We're really far into that module. If you like high-level D&D content, that's there for you. Then Friday, twitch.tv/Distortion Devil again at 3:30 p.m. PST for some Castledoor's Guide to the Cosmos. Pretty early on in the campaign, we're about to launch into a new arc, and it's also deep in space. So if you like that, that's there for you. And that's me.
Excelente. And guys, I don't want to get you too excited because it's not October, but we have a Sci-Fry. Everyone say hi, Sci-Fry.
Hi, Sci-Fry!
Hello.
Hi, Sci-Fry.
Greetings, sci-fi.
Yeah, it's true. Here in September, we brought it.
Yeah,
The seasonal menu item is here early this year.
It's-
If that's not a recession indicator, I don't know what is.
Oh no!
Are you the you're the McRib of the Unexpectables, right?
Exactly. Come back once
There
every
you
year.
go.
Official
There you
title.
Yep. Oh man, fantastic. Well, where can they find you, Sci-Fry?
Hey everybody, my name is Sci-Fry. I'm a variety slash tabletop streamer over on twitch.tv/Sci-Fry. I do a lot of variety gaming, and I also am currently running some of my friends through a tabletop campaign of the brand new TTRPG Draw Steel. Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern on my channel. You can also find the VODs of that on youtube.com/sci-fi TV. And you can also catch me on Blue Sky at Sci-Fi TV, where you can see me learn how to do art. That's a new thing I've been doing recently, learning to draw.
You're drawing?
Yeah, since the first time since high school. And learning digital art too.
You're gonna have to show examples of the class at some point.
At some point, but not now.
No. I expect Unexpectables/Ravenloft art from you that we can put on the fridge. I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Oh yeah, it'll be fridge worthy for sure. It definitely will
Okay,
be
for
like
sure.
8-year-old level by the
Okay.
time Ravenloft happens.
Excellent. Oh man! And last but certainly not least, we have a newcomer to this Saturday night game. At least my Saturday night game. We have one Arkov who was nice enough to save the stream tonight. So everybody say thank you, Arkov.
Thank you, Arkov.
Thank you, Arkov. Now, where can they find you? If you can hear us.
I was muted!
Oh no!
But yes,
I was like, I swear,
they can
we
find me
finally
right
got all
here
the
doing
tech stuff
this.
figured out.
How apropos that I'd said that might be a little preliminary.
Yeah.
Either way,
Fantastic.
hopefully the audio's better now.
There you go.
I will be adjusting things on the fly, but I will not listen to every single person in chat because it's easy to get one-manned.
And if you if you like Arkov's voice, you can catch him over at twitch.tv/Arkov. where
True.
he streams sometimes.
When I have
Trying
time.
to chill.
Well, that was quick. That's what happens when you only have 3 players. And that's right, guys. We only have 3 players because I saw Zan do it and thought, well, that's a good idea. Let's do it. So let's see what happens.
It should be better
but
now. I've got the audio down to where I'm
Fantastic.
matched.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can test it while I tell everybody that we wouldn't be able to do this without our sponsor, Die Hard Dice.
Die Hard Dice.
Die Hard Dice.
Die Hard Dice. That's right. Die Hard Dice, your one-stop shop for all dice and dice accessories on your wish list. You can use that promo code Unexpectables to save 10% on your order at checkout. You can get dice. You can get your dice accessories. You can get a whole bunch of other stuff, I'm sure. You need to check out their website. Stuff is coming in and out of stock constantly. It's beautiful. But if dice aren't your thing, maybe you want to check out some Unexpectables merch because we got a merch store. You can get Unexpectables merch, or you can get Gateway merch. We would love to have Prince Division merch, but we don't. And I'm going to keep saying that until we have it. But if you want any merch on a cup, on a t-shirt, on a hoodie, any of that stuff, it's all available at our merch store. So definitely check that out. That's really cool. We also can't do this without bits and subs from viewers like you. And already it's being weird. So I'm going to just call these out as I see them. And I pray that I don't miss anybody. Miss Tweetums, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to our call of all folks.
Thank you for that.
Oh, how kind. Amateur Procrastinator, thank you so much for the 4 bits. Appreciate you. And I think, unless it ate every bit drop that you guys did, that is it. So the intros are done.
Let's go.
We're
ready to go.
Which means no more smooth jazz. The smooth jazz has commenced, and now it has ended.
Only rough jazz from now on.
Only rough jazz, exactly. So, is everybody ready to jump back, not into a land of worlds of wonder or whatever it is that Monty says, but into a world where, when last we left all of you, a holy kaboom went off. When last we left our compatriots, we were in the mountains of Calderon. And as the party was exiting on their investigation into this weird mage cult that seemed to be trying to find a cure both for the hobgoblin crisis and disease that has been inflicting pretty much everyone of the species, but also weird and strange magical sigils that you guys found on a teleportation circle. And as you were leaving, having destroyed that teleportation circle, a bright flash of light was seen over the horizon. And thankfully, 2 of the 3 of you were able to maintain control of your memories, but all of your compatriots, save 1, seem to have no recollection of the events that transpired and are having difficulty even recalling the simplest and oldest of memories. And as all of you try to regain your focus, now a couple of days removed from returning back to Terzan, we start our story not with those intrepid adventurers, but with a newcomer to the party.
Real quick before we get started with Arkhov, can he switch regions real quick so it'll drop the call for just a second?
Sure.
I'm getting major ping bounces. Central's always cursed.
Put it wherever you need it.
All right, is everyone still audible?
Yeah.
This will also be a good chance to also further test the volumes, because I've got myself dropped down even further. People were saying that I was still coming in louder than the rest of you.
That's probably smart. Just to be safe, as you know. All right.
Also,
we'll give everybody just a
if
moment.
you had any music playing, I do not hear it.
Oh, I paused it. I'll play it again, though.
Oh, I see the issue immediately. One moment.
There you
go. Apologies, chat.
Also, Miss Tweetums, thank you for giving us here. What's up to Distortion Devil? Because we're going to hit that real quick. Also, Gaijin Goomba out of nowhere for some D&D. Why, thank you. I'll take that. Also, Kilroy Von Lotwick, thank you for the tier 1 sub for 21 months. We see you. Oh, I'll buy us some time.
All right, everything should be working.
Fantastimundo. You all ready to go, Arkhov?
I will try.
All right. Then we start with you. Staccato Picklebeard, you
Pricklebeard.
are Picklebread,
Pricklebeard.
right? Pricklebeard, Picklebread. Staccato, you are from originally the Calderon Mountains as part of the Dwarven Empire. You are no stranger to the legends of the Mage Slayers, but it was never the life that you wanted to lead. You've always seen yourself as kind of the mercenary type, and there's only been one person you've ever been loyal to. Well, two people, really. And that is your daughter and your wife. And with only one of those people still in your life, you have set down roots in Terzan to try to create a better life for them. But in the process of coming to Terzan, you have been hired for all types of jobs. You have been a hitman. You have been a private investigator. And on this day, you have been summoned to the Colosseum for the first time. You have been sent to meet with a man simply known as Silus, who, upon a little bit of investigation by yourself, you are able to find is a fairly well-known member of the Senate of Terzan. And as you kind of make your way towards the giant pillars that adorn the outside of the Senate building, there are steps that lead all the way up. Way too many steps for anything that is actually necessary. It seems more for decoration than anything, and you could see a couple of people huffing and puffing and cursing the fact that these stairs are so tall and that there's so many of them and they go on forever. They're not much of a problem for you. But as you make your way towards the entrance to the Senate, you see two guards standing in place, and they put their pikes in front of you to block your path. Station name? And Markov, if you could describe what you look like to these guards, and for the rest of the chat.
Standing approximately 5 foot, which is fairly tall for a dwarf, Staccato is, by all rights, I'd say middle-aged to older in appearance. He has salt and pepper shoulder-length hair, sort of parted to either side. He's wearing a long, loose brown overcoat with 2 spiked pauldrons, and also a set of spiked gauntlets on either arm. His right arm, the gauntlets having 2 long blades that extend down over his hands. On his back rests a shield, and at his side rests a flail. He has a deep scar going over his left eye, as both eyes are trained on one of the guards. Aye, they song and dance again. Staccato Pricklebeard, here to see Silus.
As soon as you say the name Silus, they both seem to look at each other and then back to you. Of course it'd be Silus. And they kind of move their pikes out of the way and allow you entrance if you wish to proceed in.
He will proceed.
As you walk into this absolutely massive building, you see that there are 2 large doors that dwarf, no pun intended, your even large frame for a dwarf. They just seem to be 2 massive metal doors that are adorned with inscriptions and various carvings. And they seem to lead inside the chamber, which you yourself have never been invited into, but you have seen various senators moving in and out of it. However, at this present time, they seem to be completely closed. And then you see 2 different directions that you can take. You know that to the left is typically the Senate chambers, where you'll find many members of the Senate meeting with their various charges or employees perhaps even. And to the right, you know, would typically lead down to where the holding cells are, and you've been down there a number of times for interrogations or simply to bring in a bounty. So you would note that to head left would be to see Silus, but if you were to head right for some reason, that would be down into the dungeons.
Now, would I have any reason to head right?
Not necessarily. You know that your business is strictly with Silus, so unless your curiosity got the better of you, no real reason to head down there. You know that's typically where they keep apostate mages or people for interrogation, or just being held in general for whatever purpose.
Guards tend to be antsy, so I will head left to see Silus.
All right. As you hang a left, you pass a couple of the other senators. Nobody of note that you particularly recognize. Politics has never really been your thing. But as you make your way down this corridor, it kind of wraps to the right again as it almost goes around the perimeter of the large chamber, which you saw the entrance to. And off to the side, you see a door to the left. And you can just make out an individual who seems to be waiting at a very long table, which you can assume is probably Silus, as he is the only senator in there.
Staccato will grumble and enter.
As you enter the room, the walls are pretty plain. There's not really any decorations to note. They seem to just be stone walls and this very large wooden table that looks like it's meant to seat maybe 12 to 15 people, but there's simply one senator at the head of the table on the far end. And you see a man dressed in a very large but somewhat form-fitting toga, dark hair, and not much complexion to his face. He has very olive-looking skin. The only thing of note is his two very dark blue eyes, which almost seem to cut away all of the unnoticeable features and be the one defining trait of this man. As he locks eyes with you, he kind of motions for you to take a seat. Ah, Pricklebeard, I've heard much about you. Please take a seat.
Staccato will look around the table. I'm assuming the only other seat is at the far other side of the senator.
You are 100% correct. Well, the one that he motions to is there are other seats that are closer to Silus, but he definitely does just motion to the one that is furthest away from him.
Yeah, I had a feeling he seems the type.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fuck decorum. I'm gonna sit right next to him.
As you kind of walk towards the seat, I imagine you almost make it look like you're about to take a seat and then go to the next one and point at it, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then eventually just find the seat directly to his either right or left, your choice.
Yep. Let's go to the left.
Okay. As you sit on his left-hand side, with each progressive chair that you get closer, he seems to get more and more annoyed as you watch his middle finger kind of rub into his temple. And as you finally sit down, he sighs and looks at you. Was that really necessary?
Hey, sorry about that, my lord. Just had to find one my size.
Of course, the chairs are all the same. But I digress. Staccato, I have a very important task for you, but before we discuss business, I have to ask you a question. How do you feel about the apostates running through Terzan?
Well, now, that's a wee bit of a mixed bag there, ain't it?
It most certainly is, but it is of the utmost importance I understand where your head is at before I send you out to do whatever it is I might have in mind.
Well, as I'm sure my lord is aware, I have a bit of a vested interest in them. However, a job is a job. I will do what the contract demands. You have no need to fear that.
Oh, right, the contract. You dwarves are all the same. And he reaches behind him and pulls out a very, very long scroll. I hope you don't mind that it's not carved into stone.
I'll make an exception just for you, my lord.
How kind of you. And he will kind of slide the paper towards you, and I assume you take a look at it.
Yep, gonna read it religiously.
It's a very long sheet of paper, but it is very, very short in terms of what it asks. Retrieve Gaius alive. Interrogate. Find answers to the apostate threat. Potentially working with them. Investigate connections. It seems to almost be worded as short and straightforward as possible. You're not sure if Silus himself wrote this or if he had someone draft it up, but he is well aware that the more wordy letters that he likes to use are not nearly as effective with those of your ilk. He seems very well versed in your particular expertise of deciphering every potential loophole in any contract drafted up. So your reputation does not seem to escape him.
Sly bastard. Why, seems straightforward enough.
My hope is that you can bring some clarity to whether or not this young Gaius is potentially in league with those who have caused the incident in the Calderon Mountains, although it doesn't seem to have just affected the mountains. I had a search party up there looking into similar activities, and it seems only a few of them have escaped unscathed. I'll be sending 2 of them with you. We've kept them separated for the time being to validate their stories, but they should be here shortly. We'll pause you right there as we switch over to Zirboss. Speaking of the dungeons, Zirboss, you are no stranger to being in a holding cell. You have seen many the inside of a cage in your days, but there has never been a cage you have been put in that you can't seem to find your way out of, either with your tongue or with the help of a thieves' kit. However, today, the door is not locked, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of hostility down in the dungeons. There are a couple of other holding cells that hold various apostate mages or people of interest, but your cell seems to simply be left open. The only man standing across from you is someone you know very, very well. A one Tiberius Aemilius Augustus, one of the guards that has long been chasing you and works under the employ of Silus, but to this point has not been able to pin you down with absolutely anything regarding your interesting activities in the city. And he seems to simply be guarding your cell and interrogating you into the events of what transpired. And to this point, unless you've left anything out of your story specifically, you seem to have regaled him of all of your tales. Unless there's something you'd like to specify you didn't mention.
Quick question. Does Zirboss have
Yes.
his mask on him?
He does. You don't seem to have been stripped of any of your equipment. You were simply brought down here to be isolated from the rest of your party members. And you know this is pretty standard for Silus, is to separate everyone and get everyone's story, and then figure out the inconsistencies to figure out what exactly did happen.
Well, Tiberius, that is everything I recall. So unless you have further information for me to expand upon, I'm afraid I can't help you.
You know, one of these days, Zirboss, I'm gonna pin your ass to a cross and see you hung from the city square. So you sit there as smug as you want to be. But your job for Silus ain't done. He's made it very clear you're going back out into the field, so maybe you should have wished your memory was wiped.
Perhaps. But do you know how many dead Templars I have seen in my ventures around Terzan? Far
Do
more than
remind me.
far more dead Templars than apostates at this point. It's getting rather dangerous for your line of career.
I didn't pick this line of career for the safety. I picked it to near bastards like you. And one day, your time is coming.
I pray for both our sakes it comes before yours. For I have seen far too many play by the rules and still be brought down.
Just pray those mages don't get to you before I do. It'll be a real shame if you don't make it back in one piece.
Pray. A funny word. Is there anything else?
No, you're free to go. You know where Silas's chamber is.
Zirboss will stand up, kind of brush off any dust or debris or dirt from his body, kind of give a long stretch, really elongating the exit procedure of this before leaving the cell and moving towards where he knows Silus to be.
As you make your way up towards the long hallway of the Senate chamber, you hear the hustle and the bustle of a normal day at the Senate. And as you approach Silas's chamber, assuming you don't make any detours, you will see an individual who you have not seen before. However, could you describe for Staccato the man that walks into the room as Zirboss enters Silas's chamber?
In front of you, there is a human, it would appear, at least humanoid, that is slightly above average height. They wear a jester's outfit that you could tell was probably once very bright and colorful, but has been so distressed and disheveled and broken in that it's just various shades of grays and browns at this point. On his face, there is a white or off-white kind of eggshell looking mask that ends just above his lips. He seems to have theater makeup on underneath it, and he wears a deep gray hood that seems to be fitted to a sort of half toga just over his jester's attire. He seems to have a few daggers at his side and on his belt, and walks in with almost a reserved, unassuming stance, though one hand is held behind his back, as he assumes just a casual seat near the end of a table.
As Zirboss kind of takes a seat, Staccato, you're fairly good at reading people. There is a narrowing of the brow of Silas as Zirboss enters, but it softens almost as quickly as it narrows. And as he kind of sizes up Zirboss, he will turn back to you. This will be one of your compatriots. He's known as Zirboss. He's quite the charismatic enigma, I should say. He will be helping you in your investigation, and he has many assets that I believe will be quite useful to tracking this young mage down. In fact, he has some experience with him.
In Dwarven,
Zirboss.
a pleasure to meet you.
Staccato will cock an eyebrow at that, and will reply in Dwarven. Aye, same. I don't bite. Why don't you take a closer seat? Let me get a good look at you.
In common, he'll kind of sitting back in his seat. I believe I am comfortable where I am. However, Silas, it is very rare for you to have such a small audience. Have you lost favor in court so greatly since last we met?
You watch as Silas kind of rubs his temple, this time on the other side.
Staccato will cough, covering a laugh.
The job I have for the two of you and one more of your compatriots requires a delicate hand. The less prying eyes, the better. Do not mistake my lack of an entourage for anything else.
So there is one more. Are they invisible?
And as you say that, we turn now back towards not the holding cells, but to the outside of the Colosseum, or not the Colosseum, the Senate itself. Abel, you have made your way back. So you were the only one to be released on your own cognizance. You have spent probably about a day in the city of Terzan awaiting orders from someone. Silas made it very clear that he was going to interrogate your comrades, and when you asked if you were going to be a part of it, he almost seemed to dismiss the idea as not even needing to be necessary. You're not sure whether or not it's because you're a member of the Mage Slayers and you are to be trusted without question, or if there's something else going on. But you have since been summoned back to the Colosseum, or to the Senate. And as you kind of make your way up the stairs, the guards don't stop you as you're just able to walk through. You see those double doors that I described earlier, and you are very easily able to make your way towards the room that Silas and the others are a part of. And Abel, as you walk in, what will the others see?
Yeah, so Abel is a very, large, put-together human. He's got his hair cut in a very, straightforward, military style, short on the sides, short on top. He is wearing very clean-cut armor, where his greatsword is tucked by his side. His shield is on his back, and he is, basically, he looks like he's ready for battle wherever he goes. It looks basically just as clean-cut as a soldier could possibly look. He walks in, and he just sort of stands in the doorway. He puts his, arms behind his back. He says, "Silas, sir, reporting as summoned."
Unlike the rubbing of the temple that he gave to each of you, he seems to almost smile and nod at Abel as he motions for him to sit directly next to him, if you so choose, on his right-hand side.
Yeah, Abel will do so. He gives a little look to Zirboss as he walks across the room to the seat next to Silus.
I imagine there's a shared look of not this guy again between both of them.
Yeah, and then as I sort of sit down, I see Zirboss and I see a dwarf I don't recognize, and I turn to Silus. I go, I assume that none of our other previous compatriots have recovered.
There is only one. We haven't finished interrogating him yet. However, the rest seem to be as clueless as to where they are as to who they are. And thus they are a detriment to the mission I will be sending you all out on.
Noted.
He will slide you the same piece of paper that he slid to Staccato, and he will instead then turn to Zirboss as you seemingly read over the orders. Zirboss, do you remember a young mage by the name of Gaius Octavius Arcanum?
I believe I do. But I'm certain there's more information I do not possess, so if you wouldn't mind refreshing my memory.
He was the young man that you saved from that cult, the one that they were either looking to sacrifice or utilize in some form. He is a very talented magician. The problem is he seems to have sympathies for our neighboring rivals. Not to mention he's not a fan of the way that we do things, at least not enough of a fan to make me comfortable. That being said, his talents might be of some use in determining what exactly happened to all of your compatriots. So, I have a very simple solution. I want you all to investigate the young caster's residence. Whether he's home or not, I don't really care. You can interrogate him to your heart's content. I'm more curious as to his records and what he has been up to.
Remind me.
Remind
me. Is Gaius did you say he was apostate or is he sanctioned?
He is neither right now. He was just described as a young mage. You imagine that if he wasn't listed as an apostate, he's probably studying at school and thus has not been basically outcast. There's no way he'd be able to live on his own if he was
right.
Known
That's
to be
why I was
casting
curious.
Magics, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you would assume that while he hasn't said it, that has to be the case.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Your job is to figure out what he has been up to. Now, the only other person I know that has any close ties to him is his mother. She's a renowned gemstone maker who works in the market. Whether or not you dare take that route, I leave in your capable hands, but I do wish for you to investigate the residence. I believe there may be some clues, and, well, I certainly hope he has no involvement in the recent events. Are there any questions I can answer for you?
Zirboss will kind of look over the contract, then look towards Staccato, and with his hand, do a slight bit of thieves' cant. Does Staccato respond at all?
Not at all, sadly.
Kind of looking back toward.
I was going to say, Staccato, have you worked with thieves before? Would you
That
say
is
like
my
roguish
entire
types?
background, but the background does not yield that language.
So here's what I'll say. Give me a either intelligence or wisdom check of your choosing.
Alrighty. That's a 10.
With a 10, you are able to pick up bits and pieces of what Zirboss is saying. So, Zan, if you would like to describe in an essence what Zirboss was trying to say, Staccato would be able to pick up the vibe of it, if not know the exact words.
You'll get the common parlance between like a slight nose touch, a chin rub, and then kind of a slight ringing around the neck kind of visual with his hands, giving you the indication that he's asking you in sort of thieves' cant, are you in danger?
Staccato will not move, but he will use his eyes to go back and forth in a no motion.
With that information,
Zirboss will look towards Silus. So that I understand this correctly, a number of individuals gone through an event that I assume has not been publicly known. You're reforming some of those survivors of that incident and teaming them up with a criminal?
I hesitate to call our friend a criminal.
I assume that means this is going to be as off the books as it can, save for this piece of paper.
As I said before, the less prying eyes, the better, so your assumption is correct.
Ah, yes, but the less prying eyes does mean that there is more of an incentive. He kind of makes the motion of money.
Of course. Name your price, Zirboss.
Gaius, this individual, if he is to be proven sympathetic but not illegal, I do not want his status as an apostate to be raised.
As far as I am concerned, Gaius is one of the most astute students I have ever seen.
I don't care, respectfully, what you think, Silus. I care what other people think that you can influence. Now, can you do this or not?
Silus takes a moment to pause. No danger will come to the boy. You have my word.
Zirboss will nod. Then it will be done.
Are there any other questions?
When do we start?
You may start as soon as you like. Whether that is under the cover of darkness, or whether you would rather visit the residence during the day, that is up to you. I know the boy attends school, so if you go during the day, you might have more of an opportunity to look around the residence while they're not home. That being said, if you wish to catch them, perhaps you try at night, or while they're sleeping. I leave it up to you. I don't have a lot of information on his family home. I try not to pry. That being said, if there is a resource that you need, I will do my best to obtain it.
And this is a kind of looking around at the details. Does it state whether or not this this house we're looking for is in the capital city itself, or is it out?
It is in the capital city itself.
Does Zirboss know roughly what kind of district? If it's a high-class neighborhood, if it's more...
It is an extremely high-class neighborhood. And you know that he said his mother was a renowned gemstone maker, and you know if they're working with gemstones, the mother for sure probably has a good bit of money. And then he made no mention of the father.
You had not mentioned anything about the boy's father. Is this for a reason, or do you not know?
His father is dead.
May I ask how?
He served the Empire with his life as a member of the army.
Understood. Well, Abel, and you said your name was Staccato?
Aye, Staccato Pricklebeard. At your service. Give
do
sort of
not
a
know
faux
how-
bow.
Don't know how much experience you have investigating matters of sensitivity, but I would recommend we move as quickly as possible. Try to get as much information about the estate that we are investigating before making a decision whether we go in at night or day.
Agreed. We should move during the day. Especially if he's not there, it'd be the best time for us to look around.
Aye, we can discuss matters of work once we're out of this stuffy place. After all, in a place this open, even the walls have ears. Ain't that right, Master Silus?
That is quite correct, actually.
I think Abel just, at this point, stands, puts the little, paper that Silas gave him into his pouch and walks to the door.
Are you all getting up to leave?
Zirboss will linger a moment over the contract before rolling it up and sliding it over towards Staccato. He'll take a breath in as though he's going to ask something of Silas, but then kind of change his mind before standing up and moving next to the door.
Silas is going to kind of picking up on that, attempt to insight you. If you wish to hide what you were either feeling or showing off,
Sure.
just give me a deception.
Perception it is.
Yep.
27.
As Silas kind of looks you up and down, it was very quick, and he didn't seem to catch all of it. You feel pretty confident that you didn't let yourself slip too much, and the mask definitely helps.
Well, Zerboss purposely did this to try and deceive him, as though there was something else he needed to ask about. So
Gotcha.
the fact that it caught him off guard is what he wanted.
Then with your deception check, you would know that he did try to figure out what it was, and it being nothing, he wasn't able to figure it out because it was nothing, but you got exactly what you wanted.
Sounds good. And he'll move towards the door.
Cool. Does Abel follow?
Yep.
Staccato, as they start to exit the room, you feel a hand on your shoulder as you get up to leave.
I had a feeling. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah. I did have one more question for you, my friend.
What's your question?
And he will say in Dwarven, how is your daughter doing these days?
As far as I can tell, her studies proceed well. And I intend to keep it that way.
Oh, I would hope so. She seems like a very bright and talented young girl. And he kind of pats you on the shoulder and will sit back in his chair.
A good day to you, Master Silus.
And to you.
And Staccato will get up and walk out, just as casual as he strolled in.
As the three of you leave, you make your way individually through the long corridor back towards the front of the Senate. And as you stand upon the long steps that lead down and into the city of Terzan, what would you like to do? You do have directions to the residence. The breakdown of it is that it is a 2-story home, and it seems that there's a small, it looks like a mage tower, but it's not very tall. It's just a very large dome-like structure that seemingly would take you from the bottom floor to the top. Other than that, there's not a lot of information about the inside of the residence. Zerboss, you in particular, having been in the city of Terzan probably the longest, would know the nobles do a very good job with their money of keeping their private affairs out of the business of the Senate. If a noble house or a noble family or someone with money doesn't want information to get out, there are ways to make sure it doesn't get out. So the fact that Silus doesn't have a lot of information both doesn't surprise you and indicates they probably are of some notable wealth.
Gotcha. Okay. They're keeping their matters private. Makes sense.
Correct. Yeah. But as far as how you want to investigate the residence, if you want to head over there during the day, would you guys like to scout out the area? Are you trying to go in immediately? How would you like to handle it?
Are there like food stalls or anything around immediately outside?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So there would be like a market district, so you would very easily be able to blend in at a food stall. If there's a particular one you're looking for, you'd probably be able to find it.
Zeros is going to walk over towards an area that's got, just a bit of food. We've been disposed, probably eating rations for a long time, and he'll quickly purchase some food for himself and for Abel.
Mm-hmm. Any food in particular, or just regular rations type food?
I'm not sure what kind of food would be around, but I imagine just something light, maybe a bit of spiced fruit and something boiled or fried.
How would a gyro sound?
Gyro sounds perfect.
Yeah, so you are able to get some nice juicy lamb meat slathered up with all kinds of dressings, onions, and the like. And as you're kind of munching on this, you realize that you're probably not more than maybe 100 to 200 feet away from the location that is written on the scroll. And as all of you kind of look up, I assume, Staccato, you're with them, yeah? Or are you splitting off?
Marco?
Staccato is with them, but notably he is dragging his feet a good bit.
Okay.
As if trying to slow them down to get their attention.
Gotcha.
Zeros is going to head back to Abel with the gyro and hand him one.
Yeah, you see Abel is sort of just standing there with his arms crossed. He grabs the food from you and just doesn't say anything, just wraps it up and puts it in his pouch with the rest of his rations.
Not hungry?
Good.
There's work to be done.
When was the last time you remember eating?
He sort of like, he catches him off guard. He says, not important.
Well, what is the last thing you remember at all? I'm curious.
I remember making my way down through here and spending a lovely day in the city.
I see. Well, clearly you are a Templar who cannot be bought so easily with food. Something that I... Yeah, go
He
ahead.
sort of like leans over. He says, my employer Silus likes to associate himself with all manner of less than savory types. That's why he needs men like me.
Are you also less than savory?
No, I am quite savory.
So I have seen. But I need to know, if we are to sanctionedly need to move without permission into this estate, would that be a problem for you?
It will not. We're used to going where we need to.
Very well.
Though, if our target is... He sort of looks at Zirbaz when he says this. He says, practicing. I doubt that he will keep any evidence to that in his personal residence. It'll be a good opportunity, though, to look for associates, connections, people he knows, places he goes.
You have a keen mind for this sort of thing.
I was trained to.
See.
Aye,
Well-
all this talk of targets. Last I checked, we were required to get the boy alive. Just ask a few questions. Nothing rough.
Well, you have to forgive our caution. Last time we were sent on a mission towards Silus, we nearly ended up dead. We should be, by all means, forgotten by the rest of Terzan, let alone Silus. But here we are, tasked with another mission. One does not seem too particularly difficult, but does seem sensitive enough that will require aid.
Aye, about that.
Sir Ross will look towards you.
I'm sort of inclined to go speak with the boy's mother.
What
Works
would
as
you
a
say?
gemstone maker in the markets, aye.
Aye.
Wouldn't be good to go breaking into any of the residences now, would it? Wouldn't look good for a renowned maid slayer. You'll say, looking at a bell.
Yeah, so I think Abel just sort of like cocks his head. He says, that's true, she could be a source of information, but speaking from experience on these kind of investigations, if somebody is related to or has connections to an apostate, speaking to one of their known associates can also be an alarm to them. What if we talk to his mother is sympathetic to his cause and goes and alerts him? Then we'll never find him.
Oh, we'll find him. Take it from a father. The mother will have information we could use. To at least get on a good footing with the boy, if nothing else.
Then if that's the course of action we go with, we should do our best not to tip our hand.
Zirbos will hand a spare euro to Staccato.
Staccato will wave it away, and instead hold out a gingerbread cookie to Zirbos.
Zirbos will take it.
Yes.
For your health. He'll hand one to Abel as well.
It's Abel just takes it, looks like a little confused, and just sticks it in the same ration pack.
It's me own recipe. My daughter loves them.
How did you get involved in all this? If you don't mind me asking?
Let's just say old Silas has his ways.
I see.
and he will look specifically at Zirboss. And though he can't thieves' cant, he will slightly drag an eye to the right, as if looking for something that's not there, to indicate potentially being watched.
Zirboss will nod. Everyone we have worked with in the company of Silus has either been so desperately naive, therefore they were easy to take advantage of in rather difficult situations, or they were so far in debt that they required anything to get them out, including working for Silus. So which are you?
Bit of a fun puzzle, isn't it? I see you'll find out in good time, lad.
I'd like to make an insight check on Staccato, if
Ooh.
possible.
By all
Cool with that,
means.
Arco? All right. If you want to oppose it, it would just be a deception check.
Certainly.
Yeah, that's a 14.
That's an 8.
All right, what do you want to tell him?
You get the feeling he's not fond of Silus at all. But he will do a job that's given to him. So it's sort of a begrudging, I don't like the man, but I'll do what he asks.
Staccato would have also noticed that when Zirboss said the people working for him are either naive, he would have rolled his eyes towards Abel.
When you've been in this line of work as long as I have, you don't get to pick your paymasters. You do what you must because you can.
Very well. If you wish to go meet this gem maker first, would you like our assistance with that, or do you think you can handle that on your own?
You know, dividing and conquering might not be a bad idea, because moving in a group like this tends to draw attention. So, how about you two stake out the house, make sure nothing seedy's going on, at least from the outside. Perhaps look for some ways in, and I'll reconnoiter with the mother and get back to you.
Where the aqueducts trifold into an area leads to a bathhouse. Meet us there when you are done.
Abel nods, just agreeing with Zirboss.
I'll keep that in mind, lad.
And as we sort of like separate, I'm gonna put a hand on Staccato's shoulder and I'm going to say in Dwarven, just because we're leaving you doesn't mean you're alone.
Aye, you're never alone in this city. Also, what is it with all of you speaking my language? It's weird.
I just sort of walk away and I put my hands in the air as I say in Dwarven, I was trained by your people.
Zirboss will smile quite purposely with a somewhat unsettling grin. In Dwarven, a contract is a contract after all.
Aye, that it be, down to the very letter. With that, Staccato will turn and head for the markets.
So,
Zirboss
just so I
will
understand-
sheath
oh,
his
go ahead.
grin and begin to move over towards the noble estate.
So just so I understand the plan, it's going to be Abel and Zirboss scoping out the residence while Staccato goes to speak with the gem maker, yes?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Who would like to go first? I don't have a preference, so whoever would like to go first, I'm willing to start there.
I'm down for either. We can coin flip it if we want.
Sure, I'll roll a die.
Sure, let's go and
Roll
flip it.
initiative.
Arkham, high or low?
I don't know, is
Arkham,
there
high or low?
Deathwatch rules?
Don't worry about it. High or low? I already rolled it. It's
Well,
it's the,
I am in the
it
low
is the
rollers
die.
club,
See,
so let's go low.
you nailed it. It was an 8. so
Fuck
we're gonna
off.
start with you. No, that's good. That means we're starting with you. You know what you had to do. I rolled low just for you.
You rolled my die too, didn't you?
I sure did.
For
For those of you that don't know, there's a special die that Arkov bought me when we were in LA together, and I'm rolling that specifically for him. Because he knows what it does. So, as you make your way towards the market and split off from your friends, You notice that the market is seemingly split up into sections. So currently, you're kind of where all the food vendors are. Not simply just freshly prepared food, but it seems like they have, fish, meat, stuff that you could buy and take home to prepare. It's not all pre-prepared for you. There are also textile merchants. There seem to be blacksmiths that are either for hire or selling their goods. And as you continue to make your way, you get further and further away from the residents. And finally, you come across what looks to be an area that is selling jewelry, a couple of magical arts. Nothing like magical items or anything like that, but just magical trinkets that can kind of do mundane effects. And as you're kind of looking around, you realize you never got a description of the mother. So go ahead and give me a perception check to look specifically for gemstone makers.
Yep. 11.
11. It takes you a minute as you're kind of looking around the market. There seems to only be one specific gemstone maker, thankfully. It's a young woman with dark black hair. Her eyes are kind of hard to tell from this distance, but she's dressed in, I hesitate to say peasant's clothes, but she's got a very mundane looking shirt, a pair of long pants. She seems to be wearing sandals, as you kind of notice underneath the stall, and the hair is kind of tied back as to not get in the way, as she is currently speaking with a customer and showing off a couple of the gemstones that she has for sale. As you get a little bit closer, you notice that she has some extremely expensive gems. Everything from sapphire to emerald, amethyst to sardius. Gemstones, some of which you have not even seen before in your life. And as they seem to be making this presentation, you're able to approach. Would you like to interrupt or allow them to finish their interaction?
I'll let them finish their interaction, just sort of playing the part of window shopping, but listening in.
As you listen in, you hear her say, "Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We'll do our best, but, we typically get it in every now and then. But I'll definitely keep an eye out. If I could just get your name, I'll make sure when you come back we can take care of you." And you see the individual writing something down as they respond back. And as they kind of take their leave, they put that behind the counter and then begin to look out into the crowd. They don't seem to have noticed you in particular, although you do stand out completely clad in armor, while most people are either in togas or very minimal wear, as it is kind of hot out.
Pardon me, Mom.
She kind of turns. "Oh, why, hello there. How are you?"
Oh, I'm doing fine today. How are you?
"Oh, it's a pleasure. May I interest you in some gemstones, or just browsing around?"
Well, I was looking for something for me daughter, specifically.
"Might I ask what color her eyes are?"
Aye, they're the finest emeralds you could ever see.
She seems to reach down, and she moves through a couple of the stones, and she pulls one out that looks eerily similar to your daughter's eye color. Just two glowing emerald rocks. They seem to be about the size of a diamond ring, easily able to be held in the palm of your hand. And she kind of scoops them up and places them directly into your palm. "Now, we could easily turn these into a pair of earrings, or maybe just a couple of rings, maybe one for each of you, like a father-daughter bracelet or a ring pendant."
Staccato will take a moment and he's looking at the emeralds. His other hand will reach up and sort of wipe a small tear from his eye.
"Sorry, I did not. Is everything all right?"
Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's just the same color eyes her mother had, so little trip down memory lane for me.
"I lost my husband. I understand."
Sorry about that. What would you say to just a singular ring? What would that run, if I could ask?
"Oh, a singular ring. Well, And she kind of like pulls out a piece of paper and go ahead and give me either insight or perception, whichever one is higher.
Good news, they're the same.
All right, whichever one you
10.
prefer. 10?
10 insight.
Okay, let me see what she rolls as far as a... With a 7, that's not going to do it. So, as we both continue to roll low, you notice that as she's writing, you kind of like peek a little bit. She's not making contact with the paper. She looks like she's doing some kind of a math problem of some kind, but she's not actually writing on the paper.
You know, here's a better question. What do you got on you, lad?
Now, I know that type of question. Me wife posed that to me back when we first met.
Don't you go knowing all my tricks now. I asked you a question. It's not nice to keep a lady waiting.
Well, I'm on a job right now, but the most I've got on me is about 15 gold pieces.
You see her go back to writing, and you don't need to roll another insight check. She, again, seems to be doing invisible math.
You know, I could probably part with both of those for, let's say, 5 gold pieces. A lot of imperfections and all.
Feel free to give another insight as she gives that to you, having already seen that she's not writing anything down.
5.
And I will give you it. It doesn't matter because it's a double 5. She rolled a 2. Fantastic. Anything you can do, I can roll lower. So as you kind of scope this woman out, it is very clear that she is coming up with any reason to kind of give you some kind of a discount. And at this point, if you were to refuse, you feel like that might rub her the wrong way, as she doesn't seem to have any room to negotiate.
I know when I'm beat. 5 gold it is then, ma'am.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. I appreciate your business and your patronage. If there's anything else you need, by all means, come on by me shop.
There is something.
I had a hunch there was something else you weren't telling me. What's on your mind, dearie?
You have a moment to speak privately, from a father to a mother.
She kind of looks around.
Of course. Yeah. What seems to be the problem?
Staccato will also look around, trying to make certain no one's listening in.
It's a very busy market. It doesn't seem that there's any prying eyes. Go ahead and give me a perception check just to see if you could notice, because obviously you're the paranoid type, if there's anybody who might have been tailing you for some reason.
12.
Even with that roll, you are pretty confident that you did a good job of losing anyone in the crowd, and you stand out like a sore thumb. So if someone was watching you, you feel confident you'd be able to probably pick them out. As of right now, doesn't seem to be the case.
Well, you see, Mum, my daughter's currently studying to get her sanction.
My word, that is a tough task. What year is she, if I might ask? How old?
Oh, God, she couldn't be more than 25 at this point. My work's kept me away, so...
Me boy's 26, same age. He's been at it for ages, it feels like.
Aye, don't I know it. The years drag on. Especially when someone's got your leash.
Sorry, I don't follow. Got your leash? Is that a dwarven phrase? I apologize.
Oh, don't my wife wish it. God rest her soul. But no, I'm sadly talking about the powers that be. There's this real piece of work up in the Senate. He's got me looking into your boy. When I heard about
roll
him...
an insight check. Roll an insight check as soon as you mention her boy being looked into.
16.
Her eyes narrow. eerily similar to how Silas narrowed them at Zirboss. It's that look of, oh, I know. But you were saying, but you noticed that almost immediately when you mentioned that.
And I realize how that might sound, but when I heard about the boy, it made me think of my daughter. Same situation. I don't like the cloak and dagger nonsense. And then I heard about you working in the markets. I thought, from a father to a mother, maybe I can ask you a few questions. Try to see where he's standing. Try to keep him safe. Because I know just how important he is to you, like my daughter is to me.
There ain't nothing I wouldn't do for me boy.
Just like there ain't
But
nothing
you
I
gotta
wouldn't do for me, daughter.
But there are some things you need to understand. The Senate is a powerful beast. Sometimes it's just best to lay low.
I know it.
So then maybe do both of our children a favor and stop all this crazy talk, yeah?
Sort of crazy talk.
Our children got a chance, right? Like, if we just stay the course.
And that's why I'm trying to make certain your boy keeps his chance, as much as my daughter keeps hers.
You forgive me, I'm afraid I don't understand. Like, you're saying there's a problem.
I'm saying there's someone high up asking me to look into your boy, find answers, get information. To allay your concerns, he doesn't want anything to happen to the lad. He specifically just wants us to ask questions. And I'd rather not go poking through any people's houses or things like that when I could just ask a simple question.
I mean, he's at school right now, so you'll have to wait till he comes home.
Do you know if there's anything been going on with him?
Not out of the ordinary, just studying hard and looking into new magics every day. I try not to bother him about his studies. He tries to explain it to me, but as humble gemstone maker, I don't really understand the whole magic thing. I just support my boy because he loves it, and he's all I got left.
Can I insight her?
Sure. What are you looking for specifically?
Doesn't matter, it's a nat 1.
That is a nat 1. And she rolled very, very well, so I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
She seems to be very emotional, but it's hard to tell exactly why beyond she just really cares for her boy and is scared to upset the status quo because it seems to be working, which you can relate to all too well.
I get that. Your daughter's the same way, you know. Last time I spoke to her, she was on and on about the spell she had learned. She could apparently clean stuff without having to actually wash it. Gods, I'd kill for that myself. But all that stuff goes over me head. I'm a wee bit too stupid for that. But
you notice that there's not really much of a response, as she seems to almost be looking past you now.
As if looking for eyes in the crowd?
Uh-huh.
Will you be needing anything else?
Nay, I think this will be enough. You've done me a kindness, and I've done you one in turn.
Well, I hope your daughter likes the gemstones. If there's any problems, bring them back. We'll figure something out, I promise.
Aye, and I wish your boy well with his studies.
She'll kind of nod, and her eyes will drop from looking past you immediately back down towards the gemstones. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Alrighty. Natural 20.
You turn to look, and you swear that there's no way you could have been followed. However, at some point during the course of your conversation, there seems to be an individual completely clad in black with a hood over his head that immediately takes off into the crowd and begins moving as you turn to catch just the very last bit of him darting off into the crowd, almost Assassin's Creed style, as they disappear into a crowd of people in the market.
So they're already gone.
They are already gone. They seem to have been leaving as you caught them with that nat 20. Which
they
tells
were
you
there
just
for a
how well
while.
they were hidden. That yeah. The fact that you nat 20'd is the only reason you saw him.
Gotcha.
Which also leads you to believe, wow, how the hell did she see him?
Don't worry, Mom. I'll do what I can to keep him safe. You have my word.
She kind of smiles. Good day to you, lad.
Aye, good day to you as well, Mom.
And she almost switches gears right back to saleswoman as another person comes up.
Oh, come here, dearie. I've got the largest selection of
As she kind of trails off. Is there anything else you would like to do before you make your way back towards the residence?
Well, there's no catching that guy now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's unfortunate. Going to tuck the gemstone into my pocket and make my way towards the meeting place that was described.
Okay. As you kind of make your way back through the cities, you take the back roads that Zirboss mentioned, and as you head towards the bathhouse, we're going to pause you there, and we're going to switch back to Abel and Zirboss, who are standing outside of this large residence. And now that you are looking directly at it, I'm going to take you to your map. Right. Let me know if you guys can all see this when I bring it over.
Can see the the top left section.
Yep. Perfect. So what you see is what was described. It seems to be a 2-story, very elegant-looking home. And you notice that in the back right-hand corner is that kind of circular tower, which, again, doesn't look like a mage's tower, but is an odd construction considering all the other homes in this area don't seem to have that kind of circular, almost silo in the back. You notice a large chimney stack with 2 large stone pillars that seem to not be emitting any smoke, but where you can guess would be a fireplace or a stove of some kind. You also notice a small dome in the front, but it doesn't look to be nearly as large as that silo-like structure in the back. The windows seem to be closed with drapes behind them. If you were to get up close and look, you would be able to see the drapes behind them. And there seems to be one large set of double doors in the front. And other than that, you don't see any other entrances or exits, but you do see windows both along the front of the semicircle entrance as well as along the side of the home as you guys kind of just scope out the outside of it.
All right. I think as we are just sort of like arriving and getting into like position,
Mm-hmm.
I think Abel isn't going to say anything as we sort of like get into a position to stake out the house. I'm gonna reach in and take out the food that was given to me in the market. And I'm just going to start observing the house, keep an eye on Zirboss.
I'll tell you what, friend. Why don't you take a measure, see if anyone is home? There's been some time since I've enjoyed a rinse. I think I will use the facilities of the bathhouse, if you do not mind.
He looks at you, he sort of like raises an eyebrow a little, but shrugs and just says, "Don't take too long."
He will nod before going into the bathhouse.
Abel, as you get a little bit closer, are you going to head just directly to the front door?
Yeah, well, the thing about Abel is that he's very conspicuous.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Or at least tries to be.
Yeah, he's not a sneaky guy. So I'm definitely. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna situate myself like on the opposite side of like the whatever road is in front of the house, and just sort of like take a long lap around to observe all like the entrances and exits and see if there's any signs of recent activity.
Sure. Do you want to check the front door first, or would you like to walk around the side where you saw some of the windows?
Yeah, I think he's doing like a sort of far like perimeter check, like looking in the windows to see if anything's moving. Obviously it's like, and then he'll probably move towards the door at the end of that.
Mm-hmm. Where you saw some of the windows have like drapes behind the actual blinds, you notice as you walk along the side, and again, as you're approaching the house, you kind of have to do your best not to look like you're just wandering into somebody's side yard. But you are able to find one of the windows doesn't seem to have anything behind the, what's the word I'm looking for? The shutters that are only partially drawn. And you could probably look through if you wanted to spend a little time with a perception check to look into at least the first level of the home and see what you could see.
I will make that check indeed.
Okay.
That is going to be a 20.
A 20. Excellent. What's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 13.
13. So I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Let's see if this works. I'm going to give you this. All right. You should be able to scroll to the right and see more of the home.
Yep, I see a little bit of the interior.
Yep. So you're able to see what looks to be a wooden dining table. There appear to be 3 chairs from your vantage point, but that seems to only be about maybe a quarter to a half of the table. You can maybe guess that the exact same thing is mirrored on the other side. There seems to be a long rug that is placed underneath. And you can tell just from the wood and the carpet, there is some money in this home. However, what you don't see is really any source of light. Not a candle, not a magical orb of any kind emitting light. It just seems to be dark. The only light seems to be coming from outside, maybe in a different location of the house.
Okay, so no light, no movement as far as I can... As
far as you could see from this window, yeah. The other windows you couldn't see a lot because there wasn't a good vantage point, but this was the one spot you were able to get to. And as you kind of move around to the rear of the house, you notice there are no windows looking in, except for at the very back, and I can show this to you because you're on the perimeter. There does appear to be one window right here.
Gotcha.
And as you kind of look into that one, you don't need much of a perception check to see that there is a chair posted up by this window. And it kind of leads into a hallway. But again, not a lot of light inside the home.
Got it. All right. I think he'll finish his lap and he'll sort of head back to like where we have sort of posted up, wait for Zirbos to do his thing.
Okay. As you kind of move back towards the front of the house, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Sure. Let's see. That is going to be a 7.
You didn't notice it at first, but you notice that on the front of the door, there are some strange sigils carved into the door. You try to think about what those could be, but as far as magical sigils go, nothing really comes to mind.
Hmm. Can make some assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just note that.
Is there anything else you would like to investigate before we switch back to the bathhouse?
Nope. I would just be waiting for Zirbos because he's not going to go in alone.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
While
Yes.
Abel is doing that, or the bathhouse, is there a room in the bathhouse that's empty?
Absolutely, yes.
He's going to very quickly go inside and cast Disguise Self on himself.
Okay. What would your disguise self look like? Yeah.
He's going to make himself look about a foot shorter. He's going to take off his jester's outfit and instead have a full toga and look kind of like a servant worker, someone who would kind of maintain the streets and kind of keep things clean, almost like a city janitor.
Okay, so trying to blend in with the working crew.
Yes. And he's going to walk, or he's kind of like a groundskeeper. He's going to walk while Abel's still investigating.
he's gonna walk towards one of the areas of the house that has an obviously exposed window,
Okay.
and he is. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, would you like to go back to the side of the house where Abel was originally investigating? Or
Sure,
do you
that
want to
makes
go
sense.
back to the back? Okay, cool.
Just towards the front of the house, and while Abel's
Okay.
investigating the rear, Zirboss will move over and cast Minor Illusion to
Okay.
make the sound of a rat or a mouse stuck in the walls
Okay.
in that area, and just see if anyone comes to investigate from inside the house.
Okay. Abel, you would hear this if you're still investigating. You would just hear like a weird squeaking of a mouse of some kind. But as you do that, you probably are there for maybe 15, 20 seconds, and it's loud enough where if someone was in this house, they probably would have come already. At the very least, a servant of some kind, if not the owners of the home. You are pretty confident that there's at least nobody within earshot of this in the home.
And as if it's all right, as Abel's still investigating, figuring things out, Zirboss is going to quickly run back into the bathhouse, remove the disguise self, put his clothes back on, and simply cast Prestidigitation instead of actually taking a bath.
Fantastic. I will not bathe with the commoners. However, as you move back toward the bathhouse, it's about this time that Staccato, you would have made your way to the bathhouse using the back roads to take a little bit of extra time, but definitely losing any trail that you feel you might have had in the marketplace.
At least as
You
far
are
as I can
confident
tell.
At least as far as you can tell. You're fairly confident because you're now, not only are you trained to do this, but now you kind of have eyes in the back of your head knowing that you slipped up once. You're very confident that no one saw you get to this bathhouse. You're without even needing a check, just based on your background.
Gotcha. His emotions got the better of him earlier. Now he's in business mode.
Exactly, yeah. You were having an emotional moment, and that's always when you get caught off guard.
This is the place, isn't it? Bathhouse, unless I'm mistaken.
Zirboss will walk out this time, looking nice and fresh. The makeup underneath the mask far cleaner and more presentable.
You are in the right location.
You're currently disguised, correct?
Nope, he dropped it.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Been waiting long?
I imagine Abel comes at this point.
Yep. Abel will just walk over to the other two, and he'll say, outside looks clean. The door is etched. Probably some kind of alarm.
Aye, wouldn't surprise me. I didn't get much from the mother. Boy's about 25. Been in school for a few years now, so alarm spells wouldn't be out of the question. Unfortunately, I was followed. I slipped up. Not here, in the markets.
I think Abel just sort of like turns towards the house and he says, well, then let's move before we lose our advantage. And just starts walking towards the house.
Do you believe anyone is home?
No lights, no motion.
Aye, the mother seemed disinclined to come running here, and the boys at school, so now would be the time, if ever.
I think I'm gonna walk sort of up towards the front door of the house, and I'm gonna point out to Zirboss where I saw the sort of etchings of arcane markings in the door.
Do these appear to be carved in, or does it look like they're written on?
It's hard to tell from your vantage point. If you want to make a perception check, you could probably get a little bit more information. To your guess, that they're probably not carved into the door.
Sorry, we're walking up to the door. We're not looking at it from far.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then you would very easily be able to see that these are not really carved in there. They're almost like drawn on there.
Does it look particularly practiced, or is this like kind of a novice?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, but I will give you advantage.
Arcana. A 13.
You are able to tell that this is a practiced mage, but not an experienced mage. There are minor imperfections that, while they wouldn't mess up the spell, it definitely indicates that it is someone who is still in the process of perfecting even these potentially easier spells.
And with a 13, would he be able to identify roughly what kind of spell it is?
I will give you the school of magic, which would be abjuration, just from being able to look at it.
It is an abjuration spell. You don't need to worry about creating some gout of fire by touching the door. If I had to guess, your assumptions are correct. An alarm spell, done by someone who is knowledgeable but not well experienced in doing so.
Hey, you're fairly knowledgeable yourself, eh?
Well, it certainly meets the criteria for our student. The question is whether we spend our time disarming the alarm, given that we've already been made.
Fair. Well, considering you have a lot more legal precedent, as it were, what do you suggest we do, Templar?
I think Abel kind of scoffs at the idea, and he just sort of like says, "Well, they know we're coming anyway. I just pushed the door open."
And as you put your hands on the door and prepare to enter this place of residence, that is where we are going to take our break.
Okay.
All right.
Good, 'cause I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Go get a pee.
All right.
I do enjoy
welcome
that
to the
I
halftime show,
failed
everybody.
at the questioning because he got caught up in his emotions. That's fitting.
I was so happy, and that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm not going to interrupt this with a perception check. I'll just see if he notices them at the end. But she noticed. Boy,
Yep.
did she notice.
I mean,
What's interesting for me, and with your conversation, and I'm wondering how long it'll take to connect these dots in character, is the fact that there was the observation that she was very clearly like not invested in basically the gem store turning a profit.
Mm-hmm.
He
yep.
was just sort of like, oh, whatever, do fake math. Here's a gem. And then, but the house that we're investigating very clearly has some money put into it.
It sure does. So somebody's making money.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a very interesting detail.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It begs the question: was she just cutting a simpleton father who she bonded with a deal, or is there more there? Questions.
Mm-hmm. None of which occurred to Staccato because he was very much in, oh, me daughter.
Yeah.
Lady in same situation. This fucking sucks. Fuck you, Silas.
Also, I can't believe 2 out of 3 people just turned down a gyro because I want one so bad. I was like, this sounds
listen,
delicious, and
would
then you were like,
kill
I'm
for a
stuffing it in my
gyro,
bag. Staccato's
but-
like, I'm not gonna eat this.
Listen, I personally would kill for a euro. Abel is on a job.
That's fair. Have the light of me life. I also totally decided to make her Irish on a whim because I'm like, the Scottish and the Irish getting along? What?
Oh, yeah.
We have a shared hatred of empires, be they British or Roman.
It is true. I do hate them. I hate them with all my fiber.
But yeah, that whole questioning scene was a mess, and it went exactly the way I wanted it to. I got nothing
Hell
from
yeah.
it, and that's what I wanted.
Honestly, I put that there as you can investigate this if you want to, and I'm glad you at least took the carrot, even if you weren't able to get the dice on your side. Although she rolled awful right there with you, so you were able to get some stuff.
I'm glad we were both in the Low Rollers Club.
Absolutely. Which is funny because I was using the pink die and it knows that it's for you because it's rolling low. Also, shout out to Dawn M. Bennett with the raid. Oh my goodness. I don't think that puts us at 117, which, by the way, Halo reference. Hello. Titty Sprinkles.
Sir,
All right.
giving the Raiders
All
back
right.
their campaign.
Sir. Give me the coveted titty sprinkles. I love it. Zanwin, thank you for the 200 bits. Hope my old hometown of Quincy is treating you all right, Bosco. I didn't know you were from here. Yeah, it's been fun. So for those of you that don't know, I'm in Quincy, Illinois, which is not near Chicago, but it is the state of Illinois. I'm right on the Mississippi River. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of really cool people. I met some Unexpectables fans, actually, which is crazy. Wow. Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
And they're still out here.
I'm back. Hi, Cypher.
Hi.
Hello. We just got raided by Dawn.
Oh, hi, Dawn.
Yeah. I wonder if Silus is the kind of person to deliberately pronounce it gyro. I mean, we'll find out. Hi, Fry.
Hello.
Also very glad I was careful not to incriminate anyone. Just mention someone high up.
Exactly. I could feel you walking on the glass.
Tiptoeing the line. I'm glad I didn't fuck it up.
Dude, I was so curious listening to that conversation. I was like, how much is he going to divulge?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like, they're coming for your son. You need to get out.
Oh no, not going that far. The scene went exactly the way I hoped.
Yeah. I like how it started off chill, and then you were like, let's have a heart-to-heart. Then you said the trigger phrase. Then someone saw you, and then you had to run.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I feel like you were in an episode or in a movie of Taken.
Look,
like that was the oh no.
Look, Staccato's the big burly bruiser type. He's not one for subterfuge.
Yeah. 100%. Does anybody need to grab water, use the restroom, or anything? Or are we all back?
I got water. I got restroomed. I'm good.
I have a drink with water in it, so I'm good.
Okay, that means soda. I know. Cypher, you're all good?
Yep, good to go.
All right, then I'm just going to call out Cringe Cobalt. Thank you for the 100 bits. I didn't expect anything tonight, not going to lie. Yeah, I didn't announce this on Unexpectables because I let Connor talk about his Saturday thing and then didn't butt in. So, yeah, I'll talk about it next Wednesday. But I appreciate everybody being here regardless. Thank you, Twitch Alerts, when you work. But if everybody's ready to jump back into it, I won't keep this break longer than it has to be. Let's get right back into it as you guys are about to investigate the home of Gaius. Let's find out.
One Gaius Agni.
Yes.
Hey, what's
we
up?
found the Agni family, guys. They were in a different story. Yes, Zan?
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm sure this won't be terrible music. Excellent. Abel, you said you were just pushing the door open, correct? You weren't doing any kind of a check?
Nope.
All right. Abel, as you kind of push the door open, you find that it's locked.
All right.
Anybody, as you put your hand on the door, though, anybody who would like to can either give me a perception check or an arcana check of their choosing. Abel, I will give you an advantage.
You know what? I'll roll Arcana. It can't go worse than my perception. Fuck.
It sure can. It absolutely
you said you had advantage, right? So,
advantage for Abel.
Yeah, I think I had advantage because I'm touching.
Because they touched the door, so this would make more sense for them.
So that's a 14 for me.
Zirboss and Abel, both of you notice that as Abel pushes on the door and it kind of catches on the lock, you notice that the sigil on the front of the door flickers for a moment and then almost disappears.
Oh, yeah, I think I push against the door. I see that the physical lock breaks it, and then I see what we assume is an alarm sigil fizzles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say, well, they know we're coming anyway. I'm gonna take out the pommel of my greatsword and just smash the lock.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me an attack roll. You basically just have to hit it.
Listen, man, if the information I know is that they already know that we're looking for his son, I expect that they are expecting their house to be raided.
Also, are you all able to see and move your tokens, by the way? Because you are at the front door on the far
I don't have
right.
access to my token, but I can see them.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't have ownership. Of my token, but I
Front
can
door?
see it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Over here.
Yes. Oh, there we go. I'm going to fix it right now. This
Built
is
like a
gonna
side
be...
door.
You said a attack
Good.
roll?
Yes, an attack roll while I check all of these to make sure that they're good.
Oh, I wouldn't have
this
Great
one is
Weapon Master on for this, so that's just a.
That's all right. Even with that, you still hit this door, and this lock shatters. It is a mundane lock.
Yep.
Yeah, no control
Go
of
ahead
any
and
token.
Yeah, let me add this and then save. Go ahead and try to move them now.
Yep.
All good?
At least on my end.
Perfect. Xan, are you able to move your token?
Yep.
All right. Same for you, Sci-Fi?
Yep.
Excellent. All right.
So I think,
Sci-Fi, are you going to be the...
Yeah. So Abel's gonna smash the lock,
Yep.
and I'm gonna look to both of you two, and I'm going to say, they already know we're coming, so we don't have to be discreet. Turn the place over. Make it look like a legion came through here.
Hey, that's more my style.
As you open the door, you get a little bit more information on the inside. I'm going to describe this. I know there's a sense of urgency, but just real quick. You see what looks to be a side crate of various kitchen supplies. You also notice that there is almost like a coffee table made of wood in the direct center of the room. You see a small sofa seat to one side of it. You also see that there seems to be some kind of either fireplace or stove to the right just before you get to the dining table at the back of the room, which you see is finished with a fine stone wall.
Okay.
Zerboss is going to press his hand to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And let me double check, make sure this works the way I think it does. Is going to quickly hum a melody to his hand before placing his hand onto the ground and cast Earth Tremor on the floor to see if there's any particular sigils or traps that are on the ground that would activate for people walking in might be disturbed.
Okay.
At the very least, maybe knocking some stuff over, which is our plan anyways.
Absolutely. You watch as you press this onto the ground. You do see something react. You see that directly in front of the door, right before Abel is about to step in as he since turned this place over, you see what looks to be various glyphs seeming to highlight as they react to the tremors of your spell and then fade back as Abel's about to go step in.
Would appear the place is trapped, Emperor. At this point, as well as Staccato, you would notice that Zerboss very obviously cast a spell.
Aye. He'll cock an eyebrow at that, but he won't say anything just yet.
So do you point out like the exact like position of where the trap is?
Sure, but it is the spells that may have been affected, were those visual for everyone or just Zerboss?
They were visual at first for just you, but anybody who you would point it out to would be able to look down and see that they activate with your spell. You basically triggered them, so they would be a visual component to it.
Zerboss is going to reach into his pocket, take out some marbles, and slowly flick them into position where the spells are. About a foot in diameter around each of these spheres. Try to avoid.
Abel nods, he says, well, let's hope none of them are explosive.
He'll nod. After you, Templar.
Alright. Abel will take a step in.
Okay. You will watch as you kind of step in, the fact that Zerboss triggered these runes, they seem to have done their purpose. They seem to have been set to be triggered by someone stepping in and by Zerboss setting them off. They don't seem to affect you. You don't see them light up once more, giving you at least a little bit of confidence that this particular trap seems to have been disarmed.
More alarms, probably. Alright, well, I'm gonna start going through the place.
Alright. As soon as you walk in, you get a little bit more of the room. You see another long couch on the other side of that coffee table. You see more of what looks like various supplies for cooking and kitchenware along rows in the back. And you still see the rest of that stone wall in the back by the kitchen table. You also see a door leading towards the spire. That would be
I
on your
think,
left-hand side.
I think the spire is where Abel's going.
Okay. Is anybody else following Abel into the home, or are you guys staying outside?
Staccato's
will
going to work his way around.
Sirboss
Okay.
will look to Staccato before Staccato leaves. I believe the Templar did look around and find anything of note.
Aye, but if we're going to make it look like this place has been ransacked, best to bust some windows, see if there's another point of entry.
Very well. Age before beauty.
All right. So, Abel,
I'll
as
take
you
it.
approach that door, Staccato, is there anything in particular you want to do on the side? Do you want to break a window? Do you want to turn over some of the planting equipment? Do you want to attempt to chip away at some of the stone like you tried to bust down a wall?
I will definitely tear the plants up as I walk by, but I'm planning on circling the entire place, bust out every window, and look for a way in that's not into this room.
Okay. So as you kind of go around for the sake of brevity, you know that there's a window to the back here, which I will show you once more if you can't see it. But yes, thank you for pinging that.
Yep, that's where
that
I'm
would be
working
the
my way.
easiest point of entry. Yep. You also see crates on the side of the house. You're going to smash some of those as well?
I'll just smash them as if I'm just barreling through like a beast.
As you smash through those crates, those look to be more supplies that were being brought in for cooking, it seems like. As you watch onions and tomatoes and potatoes flop out of their respective crates as you continue onward. You also see, as you smash up some of these, some magical potions that you have trashed. Seems to be a red liquid kind of pooling onto the floor. As you continue around to the back.
No, you're crying over
Unhindered.
filled potions.
You're good.
Just working my way around. I'll smash this cart for good measure.
All right. That cart seems to be more supplies, it looks like, for the gemstone business. It seems that there are some stones that are still in there that were not brought to market. There's also various supplies in there, and as you kind of smash up the cart, the gemstones being ripped from their packaging and falling onto the floor, you see that one singular window with the chair in front of it.
All right. Gonna smash that and see if I can get a good look inside.
Yep.
Assuming I
Of
can't
course.
see beyond this chair.
Yeah, so as soon as you smash it, you'll get a look of the whole hallway directly through that window. Appears to be a long wooden floor that is basically completely bare. You look at the walls on the left-hand side, there doesn't seem to be any pictures hanging up. There just seems to be some kind of object in the back left-hand corner of the room, but it's hard to make out from where you are.
Kind of looks like an astrolabe.
Potentially, yes. From your overhead vantage point, that may be what it actually is.
Mm-hmm. Staccato wouldn't know, though.
Yes, exactly.
He'll just rear back his fist and try to punch through the window.
Mm-hmm. Is Zirboss doing anything while Abel and Staccato are turning the house over?
Zirboss is going to be lookout out front and constantly be looking in as though he's concerned, but just keeping a lookout, basically, making sure that
Gotcha.
no one comes in behind these two.
Mm-hmm. All right, Abel, as you get to that door, as you kind of hear some smashing in the back and a shattering of the window, you are able to see, I assume you push the door open?
Yes.
You are able to see this. As you push it open, you see what looks to be a massive circle etched into the ground. And it almost puts a pain in your head as you look at it. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
All right. Let's see. Hopefully it's a good one. That's a 21.
21. With a 21, you are able to kind of focus through the pain in your head. And you think back to your last mission that you were sent out on by Silus. And you recall during the debrief and the discussion with your compatriots, everyone who entered the house and proceeded to the left-hand side of the house saw what looked to be a teleportation sigil carved into the ground. And you guys ended up smashing that. This looks eerily similar, if not identical, to that particular sigil circle. Whether or not it's identical would probably take some time to decipher the intricacies of it, but just from a glance, it's similar. You then see a staircase that seems to wrap around the side of it and lead up to another platform.
Yeah. Huh. I'm gonna sort of investigate what's on the edges of the staircase here. It looks like some shelves. I'll start moving my way
As
up.
you look through the shelves, they look to be equipment and magical components for constructing just such a teleportation circle.
Could I just move my way up the rest of the staircase?
Okay. Are you pushing that door open?
Yes.
Awesome. As you push that door open, you are met with the elements. As you see that it opens out into kind of like a deck almost. You see a very large telescope that seems to be pointed up towards the sky. And there seems to be a crate or a station of some kind in the back right-hand corner with various trinkets. It's potential that they could be tools for maybe calibrating the telescope, but you're not really sure. You're not familiar with them. But the telescope is what catches your eye more than anything, along with a very large astrolabe in there as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make a note of that. Actually, you know what? I think it's the middle of the day, actually. I was going to be like, maybe I look in the telescope, and then I'm like, nah, it's the middle of the day.
What
no
if there's a
stars
secret
to be
message
seen.
inside? What if it's magic?
Oh.
Yeah,
What if you stare at the sun, see God?
exactly.
What if you become
Are you popping
grossly
the next door open?
incandescent?
Yeah, I'm popping the next door open.
All right, as you do that, I will reveal all of this back end. As you get to the back end of the house, you see that other kind of like circular silo structure. It looks to just be the master bedroom of this particular place. That being said, as you enter, you see only one large, almost king-size bed. You see a large mirror on the right-hand side of the wall. You also see on the left-hand side a desk with papers strewn all across it. You also see what looks to be some kind of dresser or cabinet directly to the right of the bed and a small nightstand to the left-hand side.
Yeah, so I think without like any hesitation, Abel walks up to the desk. He opens a like previously empty pouch on his armor, and he just starts putting the papers inside, regardless of like their apparent importance.
Are you going through the actual drawers of the desk, or are you just pulling off what's on top of it?
I think I pull off what's off top, and I just start going. I go through the drawers afterwards.
Okay. As you go through the top drawer, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
All right. I had a feeling it was going to happen eventually. That is going to be a 14.
14. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, with a 14, Zirboss and Staccato, as you are respectively keeping an eye out on the street and climbing in through the window, both of you hear a massive explosion from inside the house.
Fireball.
Abel, it's too late to react to quick enough, but you see very similar looking runes to what you saw on the ground when you were entering this location. They seem to have been carved inside of this desk. The part that is particularly frustrating is that even with detect magic, it looks like there is a small sheet of lead that has been wedged into the front of the drawer. It almost looks like it's been carved out. And now you notice some of the tools that were maybe on the desk outside. It seems somebody has modified this table to make it so not even Detect Magic could see inside of this desk. As you take 18 points of fire damage from an explosive rune.
Oh my
Holy.
word!
Oof.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
It is at this
Like-
moment you remember that Glyph of Warding is also an abjuration spell.
Yep.
Curse whoever did this.
Hellside, right? At least it's not 99 bottles of alchemist fire. Am I right?
You're right. It could have been 100.
It could have been 99 bottles of alchemist fire.
Fire on the wall. 99 bottles of alchemist fire. You take one down and pass it around. All of the alchemist fire explodes.
All right. First of all, youch.
Yeah. So probably not in a great spot.
Yes, of course. Now I am going to very quickly upcast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on myself.
You know what? Understandable.
That's gonna heal me up for 17.
Okay.
Bring me back up to full.
That's worth.
That's
Yep,
definitely
very
worth.
much.
One short
having-
of full, but
Yeah,
Close
having
enough.
been blasted by that first Glyph of Warding in that first drawer, do you continue to rummage through the drawers quickly, or does that pause you at all?
no, I'm going to run back to the circle room, and I'm gonna yell to Zirboss. He said, I'm gonna say, "There's no sense looking out now. You might as well come inside."
As
Z-
he
Zerboss.
says that, yeah, go ahead.
Zerboss will kind of shrug to no one in particular before heading inside.
So at this point, Staccato, you would be able to get in as well. As you kind of climb through that window, is there anything in particular you would like to do as you see this long hallway?
I'm assuming this is a door.
Correct.
Well, first thing as he's climbing through and hears that explosion, he'll just laugh and go, mages, they never change. Then he'll go and look at the door. He will very gently
into the-
test it to see if it's locked first.
It does not appear to be locked as you try to push it open.
Just because paranoia is kicking in, because having heard an explosion. Can I do a perception check to see if I notice any glyphs around this one?
Absolutely.
4.
4. To your knowledge, there don't appear to be any glyphs of warding on this door.
You don't see any glyphs of warding.
I didn't say that.
There's no
You both
glyphs of
can
warning
fight me.
that you can see.
Ah, well. You raise a boot and kick the door in.
Okay. As you boot the door down, there is not a ruckus explosion that claims your life. But as you kind of push through it, you see exactly what I just described as far as I assume you're going in the bedroom door?
This door. Down here.
Yeah. Yeah, so you would, as you push through that door to your right, you would see the bedroom that I just described for Abel.
Exact same bedroom?
Unless I'm... Oh! I
Was the
see.
south
My
door.
bad.
Southern
Yeah.
door.
Southern door. Yeah, give me 1 second to do that.
South is the opposite
This-
of north.
See,
Bosco, by the way.
this
Oh,
is
that-
the
you know
one
what,
with
that
the
makes
glyph
sense.
of warding on it.
That's the one with the glyph of warding, yeah, exactly.
And the
No, no, no.
99 bottles of alchemist fire.
Hey,
And
good.
the slay
I'll take
living
a few.
touch. The doorknob of slay
Okay.
living.
Fan freaking tastic. All right, let's reveal that. So you will get, as you push open that door, give me a dexterity. No, I'm kidding. You see that there are some medals on a table behind you as you climb through this doorway or windowway. And you push the door open and you see what looks to be some kind of workshop. And as you look a little bit closer, there seem to be various notes and papers on the right-hand side of this very large desk. There seems to be some kind of, like, pan There are knives and scissors and various little trinkets in this room as well. There is a candle that has been burnt almost to its limit. And you see what looks to be a cabinet behind you that you could maybe pull open, as well as some kind of glowing orb in the very corner of the room on the right-hand side.
Okay, first things first. Staccato sees a glowing orb, thinks mages. He's going to take the common clothes out of his backpack and just cover that bitch up.
Mm-hmm. You're going to cover up the orb?
Going to cover up the orb, holding the common clothes in front of his face the whole while he approaches.
Okay. As you do so, you're able to throw it over the orb and completely cover it from being able to maybe see? You're not really sure, but it is completely covered.
Alrighty. Then, next thing's next. I see some books right here.
Yes.
Can I take a quick glance and sort of see what they appear to be about?
As soon as you look at the books, they appear to be textbooks taken out from a library. And you don't need much of a check because you have a daughter that is trying to become a sanctioned mage. And you recognize the textbooks instantly as the kinds that are used to teach young mages spells, essentially. Would you like to open any of them?
Can I check for some glyphs first?
Sure, by all means, give me another Arcana check.
Because at this point, he knows this mage is capable of explosions or knows someone is.
Yeah. Give me Arcana or Perception, whichever one you're better with.
We'll do Arcana for the fun of it. 9.
9. You're not able to see any of the distinct signs of those wards that you saw at the front door. That's the only time you've actually seen them, other than hearing them blow Abel to bits. These books don't appear to have anything like that carved into them, at least not on the covers.
Alright, you'll flip one open and see what the subject matter is.
Alright, the first one you flip open seems to be a book about divination magic. And there is a particular page that is marked, and it is for a very specific spell known as clairvoyance.
Aha. Staccato doesn't know what that is, but I do.
Yeah, above game, you know exactly what that is. You would know, for whatever these terms mean, that it is a third-level divination spell, however you would translate that in-game. You know that there is a relatively longer casting time on it, just reading through the notes on it. The one thing that is strange to you as you have thrown your coat over that particular orb, this spell specifically says that the instrument that it creates is supposed to be invisible.
Hey, well, there goes that idea. Are there any other books worthy of note?
There are a couple more if you want to pick another one that you can. As you pick up another one, go ahead. Do you want to check each book as you go to open it?
Just for traps, because at this point, he's on edge and in business mode.
Perception or Arcana, whichever you would prefer.
Let's roll the other dice. It's the same number, 9.
It's the exact same number. Book looks like a normal book. As you open up the next book, lo and behold, you are able to find a book that specifies a third-level abjuration spell known as Glyph of Hoarding. It's another book that has been checked out. You understand that it's an even longer casting time, which means much more prep time, obviously. You also notice an interesting component that it requires. It requires incense and a powdered diamond worth at least 200 gold pieces, and wouldn't you know it, there seems to have been diamonds in the backyard that you smashed.
Thus the gemstone business, because that's spell components.
Exactly.
Aye, all making sense now.
As you kind of go through the other books, none of them really catch your eye, but without a check, because you've been so vigilant, you notice that there is one book that seems out of place. It's not quite the exact same make. You're not sure what it is about it, and if you didn't have a daughter studying for this exact thing, it probably would have been in a minute detail you wouldn't have caught. but it is a book that is looked to have been created to mimic the other textbooks. And you don't need to open it to know that there is something magical about it, and this is exactly how someone would try to use Glyph of Warding in a book.
Ah. Going to make a mental note of that and just move away from it.
Yeah. You are able to put the book somewhere safe that it won't be opened and potentially read, but you could tell that that spell was utilized in multiple places now.
Is there anything of note on the desk? I assume it's just potion reagents?
It's a lot of potion reagents. The one thing that you do notice is there is a book that is open in the almost back left corner of it. It seems to be a book that is specifically talking about teleportation circles.
That is a bit beyond a student's reckoning.
Yes, you are able, upon reading it, to know that it is considered a 5th level conjuration spell. It would be extremely advanced for someone who is going through to get sanctioned to know after only a couple of years, which is what his mother said, if you are to believe that. The other thing that's strange is this, again, requires gem components.
Begin to wonder if the mother herself is a mage. But given the teleportation circle that Staccato doesn't know about in the top left, above game makes me think a few other things.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, final thing to check is, take a look at the cabinet and see if it's trapped.
As you check the cabinet, go ahead and give me a perception check or an arcana check, whatever you're looking for.
7.
It appears to be fine.
And I appear to be opening it.
Yeah. As you open this up, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
Womp, womp, womp.
18!
Oh,
Hey,
let's go.
very nice. That is a success. So you will be taking half damage on what I think you know is already coming. All right. You get hit for 24 points of fire damage, so half of that will be 12. As almost like a mini fireball goes off. Before it does, though, you are just very quickly able to tell that there seem to be more books in here. They seem to be perfectly placed around the glyph, and as soon as it's activated, all of the books go up in flames as you kind of cover your eyes and turn your back to mitigate as much of the damage as possible. As all of you in the home hear another boom and an explosion, and Abel, you know exactly what it is because it just hit you in the face.
Yep.
Having seen those books, is there any way I can reach inside and try to save at least one or two?
Go ahead and give me another dexterity saving throw to try to get in there and pat one out.
4.
As you start patting them out, these books look to have been perfectly placed around that glyph so that if someone goes in there not knowing that there's a glyph in there, it's taking the books with them. Somebody did not want those books to be looked at.
Well, still yet, that's good information to have.
Yep. Absolutely. Sorry, you didn't roll better on the dex save. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. It's a Saturday. We know what this is.
It is a Saturday. Abel, as you hear this cacophony of explosions, is there anything you or Zirboss would like to do? Zirboss, this is the second explosion you've heard go off since you've entered this home.
Zirboss is going to hear the thing go off, kind of have some concern, but still hear movement upstairs, so that he knows they're not dead.
Yep.
He's instead going to be investigating this first floor.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a general investigation check.
You got it. That's intimidation.
That is, yeah, go ahead and roll that again.
Hey.
Investigation. As you are able to kind of comb over the bottom area here, one thing that interests you is this almost like stove fireplace combo. There looks to be a spot for burning wood to ignite the stove. And just out of curiosity, you kind of pop it open and you look through and you're able to see that while there is some burnt pieces of wood and there's plenty of ash and soot, there also appears to be minute traces of burnt paper. which strikes you as odd because paper is not a very good kindling of any kind, especially not for a stove. Unfortunately, with only an 8 investigation, it doesn't appear there's anything salvageable in there, but the information that perhaps something was burned in here beyond just wood is something that might interest their boss.
He'll take up one of the scraps of paper and pocket it.
Okay.
And he'll
Around
also
this
look
time,
over,
Abel, you... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
he'll also look over, what is this painting, I'm assuming, of?
It looks to be a family portrait. A large male clad in armor, a woman with dark black hair, kind of bluish eyes and olive skin, and a young boy who seems to look eerily similar to the man you know as Gaius, seemingly maybe couldn't be more than 8 or 9 years old, since you're the only one who's actually ever seen him.
Right. Secondly, the man in armor, does it look like it's Terzan military?
It is Terzan military, and he specifically looks to have the helmet down over the
Makes
face.
sense. Just want to make sure that the
No, that
information
the
is
story
correct.
lines up. Yeah. Yep.
he'll
So
then
far,
move
it
over
seems
here,
to be
but-
good. Mhm.
He'll then move over here, and then I'm assuming Abel will come in.
Yeah, Abel's
Yes,
gonna
Abel,
walk
you're able to
in.
come in at about this time. You'll notice that there's scorch marks on the armor as Abel kind of walks in, having to pat himself out.
Yeah, I'm gonna point into the room behind me, and I'm gonna look at Zirbos. Like I'm gonna look maybe for one of the first times directly into your eyes, and I'm gonna say, "Another circle, like the one in the mountains."
A teleportation circle.
The etchings on the front door were a diversion. Nobody could have made a circle like that as a student.
Interesting.
And there's multiple explosives.
So I have
assume
heard.
You know that.
You'll see Zirbos move over to the wall and pick up the painting,
Okay.
kind of looking if there's anything behind it or in the backside of the painting.
As you kind of examine the painting, it doesn't appear to have any kind of hidden trap that would open up a room. And as you kind of fish around for any kind of cut in the back of the actual frame, it also doesn't appear to be hiding anything inside of it. You're fairly confident of that.
Zirbos will put it back on its hook or handle.
Mm-hmm.
Is our newest companion. Have you seen him?
I assumed he was the second explosion.
Indeed. But considering you have the ability to restore one's vigor, and I do not, do you want to check in on him, or shall I?
Abel just sort of looks, he says, I'll find him. You, figure out what we're gonna do with this.
He will give Abel the most practiced, perfectly cookie cutter military salute.
Abel
It's
laughs.
it's eerily similar to what you've seen before.
I think I'm gonna salute back to him. I'm gonna say, good trick.
He'll nod before Zirbos goes underneath the table to investigate any etchings that might be under the table, or any more clues, really. Just kind of being thorough.
Okay.
I'm gonna head back up to the
And Abel's
second
heading back
floor.
upstairs.
Yeah, to look for Staccato. Make sure he's not dead.
Abel, you're able to search the upstairs. You once again pass the kind of the medals that are on the table that are all laid out. As you kind of make a right-hand turn into the room that you didn't see before, you would be able to find Staccato, once again also patting himself off as you see burnt pieces of paper starting to turn to ash in the air, as Staccato, I assume, is also trying to pat himself out.
Yeah, but he'll miss his mustache specifically, which has got a tiny little flame burning on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna open the over the door. I'll look at Staccato and say, "All right, good, you're alive." And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
There you go.
I'm gonna do second level.
Hey,
That's
1 under max.
11.
Nice. There you go.
I thank you kindly for that. Always the same with these mages.
I'm gonna point back to the room where I came from, the big circular room, and say, "There's a large teleportation circle here. That's identical to the one that we saw in the mountains on our previous expedition.
Aye,
He's linked to this cult.
that lines up. Gemstone business his mother running is just a cover. They're all components for these spells. No doubt she's supplying them as well, if I had to wager a guess. Book on the wall there, earmarked for teleportation, well beyond the student's capabilities. Books over here, we got Glyph of Wording and a clairvoyance spell. But, that's the funny thing about clairvoyance. He's probably watching us right now, because he can't see the little sensor it puts in place. Which means, I walk over and take the clothing off the orb. There was no point in covering this stupid thing up.
Yeah, then I will investigate the orb then, if it's not a...
We lost a few
Clairvoyance.
books in the explosion. I couldn't save them.
As you kind of investigate the jewel a little bit further, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
All right. Come on. High number. That's a 19.
As you kind of look at this gem, you realize that it's not some kind of orb that's spying on you. As you take a closer look, there actually seems to be pieces of it chipped away in random spots, almost. And Staccato, as you watch Abel kind of looking over to this, he kind of turns back towards the table, and you guys realize that some of the tools that are on that table are meant for chiseling off pieces of this gemstone. This appears to be a massive gemstone used as a spell component, and it seems that pieces of it were chipped away for very specific spells.
Yeah, Abel's going to just sort of like grab the jewel. He says, well, we've certainly found one of our gemstone components.
Aye, I smashed up a bunch on my way back in here. There was a cart full of them.
Which I doubt that a student working with a mother who's a gem cutter would be able to afford that kind of supply.
You know, coming to think of it, she was dressed rather plainly for a gem cutter.
He looks
Hold
around.
on.
He's like, it's a nice house.
Hey, Bosco.
Yes.
We both know Staccato is stupid. Is there some sort of check I could make for him to put the pieces together?
Sure, go ahead. What do you think above game that he doesn't know in game?
Because I noticed her not writing on the paper. I want him to
Correct.
combine that with this, the nice house, her plain clothes, and maybe realize she's in on it from the very start. He's kind of halfway
Sure,
there, but emotions are swaying him at the moment.
Go ahead and give me just a general intelligence check, but I'll give you advantage because you've dealt with enough criminals. You know the double take talk and stuff.
8.
With an 8, what I will give you is I will say the possibility exists. It is not out of the realm of possibility that she is 100% in on this. The problem is there's nothing directly tying her to this other than there are supplies around the house that he could have access to. So it's hard to, even if she was involved, she's done a very good job of keeping her distance, which
Yeah.
leaves just a little bit of doubt about whether or not she's actually involved.
He'll furrow his brow and grumble. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
Abel's going to put
subterfuge.
I'm going to put the gem, like the large orb, in like one of my pouches. Like seize it.
You're going to take a piece of the gemstone, you mean?
I'm going to take the whole thing if I can.
Yeah, you should be able to carry it. It probably weighs, I want to say probably 20 pounds. It's a massive stone.
Yeah.
It looks like it's
clearly-
meant to be used and chiseled over and over and over again so that you don't have to constantly go out and find other components.
Yeah. It's like from all the like random small gems, this definitely seems like
Yeah.
the most important one. So this is the one.
Yeah,
I'm taking.
the thing that you'll remember, and you'll have this, Staccato, because you found the book that he was potentially using. Teleportation Circle specifies that you need precious gems, but it doesn't specify a type. So this was probably something that was continually taken from to at least work on the spell and maybe fail it a couple of times, but every time you would need the components, you could come back to this spot and just chisel away.
Gotcha. Oh, by the by, beware that book. It's trapped.
He seems to be pointing at a bunch of textbooks that look like they're for school. You've very much seen these in students' hands before.
There's one there that's disguised to look like the others, but it's not proper. So it's a trap.
Which one specifically?
Staccato will point out the specific book.
As he does, you, now looking at it with a lot of scrutiny, notice the slight imperfections on it. It is very close to the other textbooks in terms of its make and construction, but it is just off enough that it's not exactly the same.
Sweet. You're gonna see Abel hold out one of his hands, and almost like out of nowhere, he's holding his holy symbol in his hand, and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. Since it's a 3rd level spell, you are able to just simply dispel it immediately. You watch as you flip open the book as you cast Dispel Magic and press your hand in there. As the runes almost try to activate from you opening the book, you press your hand against it and you watch as the runes completely disappear, much like they did on the floor earlier.
Yep. And then I'm gonna grab the book, and I'm gonna say, one thing about mages, they love to write things down. And I'm gonna put that in my pack with the rest of the papers. I say, we need to move.
Aye. If they're spying on us as I think they might be, they already know what we're looking through. Still pissed about those books, though.
Move back through the room with
As
the
for
big
walking,
circle.
these are going to catch his eye.
The medals?
Mm-hmm. Because he's already thinking about the mother.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you just trying to figure out what kind of medals they are?
I guess he's looking for signs of arcane tampering, because he knows mages typically mess with enchantments.
Sure. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, and because you're kind of figuring out all of the different magics that are at play here, I'm going to give you advantage because you've been exposed to this stuff and blown up by it.
16.
As you kind of check these medals in particular, they don't appear to have any kind of magical enchantment on them at all, and you are very certain of that. And you start to wonder why these would potentially be left alone, and then you realize these are not only made of metal, but they are medals. medals. They appear to be the equivalent of what would be like a bronze star or a purple heart given to combatants in the Terzan army as things to honor them, both
So they
in
belong
life
to the
and
father.
after death. Correct. And you would notice that there would be no reason for these to be tampered with, because these are probably very precious to them, more so than any gemstone.
Two sides of his mind. One wants to be a bastard, the other is bleeding heart, so he's moving on.
Okay.
These books, though, are
Yes.
also noteworthy.
Okay. As you kind of look through those appear to just be decorative. As you kind of open them, they all appear to be blank pages, except for one book. There is one book that seems to have letters and various notes of condolences. And as best you could tell, this was probably used at the father's funeral at one point. As you could see, just dozens of different people in different handwriting, different walks of life, offering their sympathies for the family's loss.
Staccato's actually going to take those.
You're going to take all 4 of the books, or just the one that has writing in it?
Just the one that has writing in it. He wants to do some research.
Sure, absolutely. Is there anything else anyone would like to do upstairs, or is everyone heading downstairs?
I'm heading basically downstairs to see what we're gonna do about the magic circle.
Yeah, by this time,
Okay.
Zirboss would have been at the magic circle, taking out a small notebook and kind of drawing the glyphs so that we can show them potentially to someone else who's a bit more of an authority.
Yeah, Zirboss, as you look at these glyphs, you don't even need the check, as Abel would already have been able to point it out to you. This does look eerily similar to the one that you guys discovered in the Calderon Mountains right before that magical spell hit everyone. But you do remember that you broke that sigil in particular.
Does he remember how he did it?
I believe it was Abel with their longsword destroyed the actual stone that the sigil was on, so it disrupted the magic.
Yeah,
a lot.
we couldn't dispel it because
You couldn't
it was
dispel
too
it.
high level. So
Yeah.
we had to break the actual underlying stone.
But Zirboss remembers all of that happening?
Correct. Yeah, you guys would have debriefed each other, so that's all information you did as a party.
Zirboss will, after finish copying it, will look towards Abel. Lo, as I am to repeat the same course of action of what we have already done, I would imagine you do not have the ability to disable this circle?
He goes, not unless you want me to smash the stone again.
Perhaps you and our new friend can stay in the next room. I will try to use my own abilities to break it.
Have you thought about just fucking with the formula?
In what way?
Oh, a line here, a slight smudge there. Might not make it inoperable, but might fuck up whoever comes through it.
Last time we intercepted one of these circles, it created a rather large explosion. But as I am one for potential mischiefs at times, there is something a bit dangerous with this magic. I would be cautious in tampering with it outside of destroying it.
Aye, but what's life without a wee bit of danger? Besides, by my reckoning, I'd wager you're the only one who hasn't been blown up yet.
Which is why I'm offering to try and defuse the circle.
The problem is, if we defuse the circle, we have to rely on the information we got here.
I assume by that statement we did not find much.
Not much that wasn't trapped.
Aye.
Not a glyph. Found this. I pull out the textbook.
Yeah.
It was
You also
trapped.
were able to gather some of the papers off the desk.
Yeah. So
This
either
is-
we
this is
trust
far-
that
Oh, go, you
this
first.
has- Okay, yeah. I was like, either we trust that this book has what we need, and we can trace it back to him, and we destroy the circle, or we go through.
Oh, I like the cut of your jib, lad.
You surprise me, Templar. Something that does also strike me as a bit odd is how rather, Gaius was able to retrieve all of this. This is far too advanced level of magic for a student to be trained in.
So, about that. In a room back there, bunch of books. Let's see. Had one on glyph of wording, which, you know, we've experienced. Had a book on teleportation spells. And a big gem that a friend there grabbed, probably used for components. And
I sort of
here's the
pull
kicker.
pouch around and show it to you, the giant amethyst.
And here's the kicker. We've probably been watched this whole time. Got a book on clairvoyance. Invisible sensor shit. So, if they've already seen us and they know we've been here, no harm in going through the circle like Abel said.
They know we're
Alright.
looking for him, and they know what we look like. We're not going to find him in the city. And you're right. It would be impossible for him to learn things here. And I'm going to point to the circle. But through there, they could teach him anything.
Well, Templar, this is either the most ambitious or the stupidest plan you've had. Suppose I will find out alongside you. And you'll take a step onto the circle.
Yep.
Staccato will hop down into the circle.
Who is going to attempt to activate this circle?
Zirbos will, kind of placing a
Okay.
hand on and speaking the magical component. Yanne.
As you press your hand towards the circle, go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Did you just say Laurel?
Good one.
11.
Zirbos, as you press your hand towards this sigil, you speak the word and you all hold your breath as you wait for that flash of light that you all know teleportation magic to inflict. But it never comes. And Zirbos, as you know you pump magical energy through this sigil, there can be only one explanation for why this would not activate. And that is because whatever this is linked to is no longer connected.
Oh, fuck.
Yep, they saw us.
That, or Zirbos's eyes will open up and look towards you, Abel. Wherever this spell went to, the other side is clearly cut. I cannot tell if it is recently, or if it is perhaps linked to the circle we saw the other end of.
Those are two equally frightening possibilities.
I'm leaning towards potentially this being the same circle, or at least the same location we had already encountered, Templar. Why else would we be sent towards this location?
All the runes are in the right place. It looks the exact same. I'm inclined to agree.
Apologies for keeping you out of the loop, Staccato, but myself and the Templar here have encountered almost this identical circle at a separate place, far outside the capital.
Aye, so your friend Abel there mentioned?
But where that was, I had assumed had been long since destroyed since our last encounter with it. That place was full of apostate literature, was it not?
So if these circles are linked to that place, do you think that it's some kind of training ground? They keep their literature in one place, and they build these sigils wherever they can, so their students can learn their ways.
As a way of trying to recruit them against the Terzan Empire, yes.
I suppose they weed out undesirable recruits by only taking those smart enough or skilled enough to make the circle in the first damn place.
This does not look well for Gaius.
Nor for his mother, if my reckoning's right.
Abel's gonna just sort of like, you can see during the conversation, he just keeps looking over his shoulders and he just sort of says, we shouldn't talk here.
Agreed. Templar, do you know a place that would be able to find some privacy?
I can find us a place.
Then we will follow you. Unless you have any other ideas, Staccato?
Assuming we check the place thoroughly, I'd just be more inclined to smash everything on the way out. Not that it'll matter. Clairvoyance, they can see what the fuck we're doing.
True. Then perhaps we urge on the side of haste rather than capability.
Aye, that suits me fine. He says as he walks over to a book and tries to set it on fire with a flint and tinder.
Just puts his mustache towards it to try to light it like a candle.
Yes, exactly.
Is there anything else anybody would like to do before you exit the home?
What is this right here?
Some, like firewood logs, I imagine.
I was just gonna say it looks like tinder for the stove.
Gotcha.
It just seems to be on some kind of pedestal, but it does look to just be logs stacked on top of each other.
Zirboss will write a small note before. No, scratch that. He'll just leave.
Okay.
Realize
So
we don't
Abel's
know who's
leaving.
gonna be next
Yep.
into this house.
So Zirboss, Abel, Staccato, you're also leaving?
Unless anything catches my eye with one last perception check as I look around the room.
You won't even need to roll it. As you kind of look around, you guys have turned this place upside down. Unless there's something you want to leave here, there's not much more that you can glean from inside this home, unless there's something you want to take with you that you haven't already.
You know what? Sentimental old fool that he is. He's gonna walk over to the table and leave that piece of emerald jewelry he got from the lady on the table.
Are you leaving both pieces or just one?
Knowing what I know now, could I take a closer look at them, see if there's anything weird or special about them?
Sure, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
15.
15? Yes, you would notice something about those gems. Give me 1 second.
Of course.
As you look at both of those gems, you think back to what the gem seller said. That they knew it was for your daughter, and that they could make them into earrings, or a ring, or perhaps buddy bracelets. And as you kind of do your Arcana check, you realize that there is some kind of magic on both of these crystals. You know that there is a spell that you have seen used by partners in crime that are magically inclined called Warding Bond.
Oh.
And these appear to be the two pieces that you would require for that spell. It seems that these were given to you knowing that they were for your daughter, for her to have one and for you to have one.
Realizing that, he'll grumble and stuff them back in his pocket. Nothing can ever be simple, can it? What am I saying? Nothing's simple when it comes to your kids. He'll kick over the chair out of frustration as he walks out.
Mm-hmm.
Almost comedically, Zirboss will close the door after it's been leaving.
Just so you know, our Call of Above game, Warding Bond specifically is not meant for just two people. If you were to give one of your compatriots that, you guys would be able to have those benefits. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can Zirboss be your daughter?
Whoa. I mean, with a disguise kit, anything's possible.
Well, I don't know if you can be my daughter, but I could be your daddy.
All right, we're gonna move on from this.
All right, so anyway.
Open the door for that.
On that.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
That was
I
on
was
me.
not expecting Arkolf to go down that road. Unbelievable. As the three of you, do you guys close the door behind you?
Yeah.
Yes.
You watch. I'm going to imagine Abel, you close the door behind you. As it kind of like doesn't click the first time, you have to kind of like bang it against the other side of the door for the lock to catch after you smashed it. But it does catch. It won't ever lock again until somebody fixes it. But the doors do stay closed. And as you take to the streets, where would you guys like to attempt to go? Do you want to head back towards the area you came from by the Senate, or do you want to try to look for a place maybe underground that's a little less off, a little more off the map?
Abel would not go back where we came from because we know now that they are aware of who we're looking for and they know what we look like. So leading them back to anywhere near Silus would be, you know, a breach. So I think I would try to find just some sort of like safe private place. Maybe I could use like a barracks or something to tuck us into.
Actually,
Yeah, you know that
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Given my criminal contact, would I know of any safe houses nearby?
That is a great question. I'm trying to think what you could roll. Yeah, give me a survival check with advantage because it is your background.
9.
You would know that you're not exactly sure which house it is, but if you were to go to the sketchier parts of town, let's say, there are multiple safe houses that you could probably find, if not just by sight alone. You could probably ask the right person and figure out where you're going.
Yeah,
Real
because
quick.
specifically criminal contact, I know who to talk with.
Real
For
quick,
sure. Go ahead.
As we'll
Yep.
say, as we're kind of looking at the barracks of, I'm assuming the Templars.
Hmm.
Are you certain that it is wise to bring me into a place like this, Abel?
We've got to find somewhere remote, somewhere where we know that we won't be listened to.
Aye, but not a good idea to bring a practitioner of magics into the Maid Slayer's home. Especially if the sanction's a bit of a question, which I have.
You work for me, I work for Silus. You'll be fine.
Aye, but do you really want to drag this back to Silus?
Do you have an alternative?
Aye, there's sketchier parts of town we could look into, safe places. Because I'd rather not do anything that's going to draw any attention to our patron. And walking into the Maid Slayer HQ with a practitioner is definitely going to draw some attention.
Abel's going to just step to the side. I'm going to look at Staccato. I'm going to just extend out my arm and say, then lead.
Aye.
At the very least, if someone is following us, they will be tracking criminals and not your friends. He says towards Abel.
He says, yeah. Abel just sort of nods.
Well, any objections?
Age before beauty.
I never know what to say to that.
That means you may proceed and we will follow.
Start heading towards the seedier parts of town.
All right.
As everyone follows, it takes you probably an hour to traverse the city, trying to use a couple of the back roads that Zirboss knows to not be seen in the higher end district. But once you are able to make it to the seedier parts of Terza, all three of you realize just the gravity and the amount of a gap that there is between the area you were just in and the run-down, broken-down, disheveled buildings that you see now. Some of them have windows that have long since been shattered for years that have not even been bothered to be boarded up. People just seem to use them as ventilation and leave them open. There are others with doors that don't even appear to be on the hinges. There are some that barely have their walls still standing, and yet they still have inhabitants inside of them. As you kind of traverse, Staccato, would you like to look for the hideout specifically, or do you want to try to ask someone for exact directions rather than looking around?
I'm going to lean on the people I know with the criminal contact background.
Okay. You know that there are many people that you can contact, but somebody in this area in particular, you simply know him as the Red Comet. He is the type that is just in every kind of seedy underbelly you can think of. And you know that to contact him, there is a local brewery that you could go to. And you have to very specifically order the strongest dwarven ale that the continent has to offer.
Alrighty. Well, lads, if we're going to get this done, no better place than the brewery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go get some drinks and talk over things.
I think as we walk, almost in like a manner that seems like rehearsed, Abel is going to sort of pull his cloak up over his face, and his walk, like his ways of walking, is going to shift from that of like a soldier to like more casual, but in a way that you can tell is rehearsed.
Sir Boss will notice this and give a slight grin. You know, Templar, if you mix in a feigned injury, it sells the deception all the more.
Noted.
And what
Hey, no
really
smiles,
draws
me.
their attention is a big, obvious fake scar. Because they'll focus on that in their memories. They won't think anything about the actual details.
I
Sir
think I've
Boss will,
got enough real scars.
Sir Boss will smile towards Staccato. Well, please, lead on.
All right, then I will take them to the brewery.
All right. As you make your way towards the brewery, it looks like at one time, maybe in Terz's heyday at the peak of their empire, this place was probably hopping. But right now it looks kind of run down. Most of the tables appear to be, at best, wiped down with a dirty cloth. At worst, it appears somebody probably left whatever they ate on one of these tables. None of that seems to concern you as you make your way towards the bar, and as you put your forearms on them, you can feel the many glasses of ale still stuck to the table counter, kind of catching your armor as it sticks. You catch the eyes of the bartender who kind of walks over to you. What can I get you?
I'm treating the boys to one of the strongest dwarven ales that the continent has to offer.
You see him move to grab a drink and begin pouring it, but he kind of hits something underneath the bar. And as you all turn, you in particular, Staccato, notice that a panel in the back corner of the room seems to open.
Okie dokie.
This require a certain tasting room.
Otto, make sure you're well taken care of. And he'll slide it all the way across the bar as you catch it with your hand, Staccato. It's a hefty thing of ale.
All right, you'll pick it up and just casually saunter towards the opening.
As all of you move, you realize that there seems to be a back section of this room that all of you can see when that button was hit. But as you step into it, no one seems to notice you. As you kind of push the wall back. And it opens into a very small but not cramped room. It couldn't probably be more than maybe 10 by 10, like a small bedroom. And you see at a very small table, flipping over a couple of cards, is a man that is completely donned in what can best be described as almost like a red ninja's outfit. He's got a hood up over his head, a face covering from his nose down to his chin and down his neck, and his arms and legs are completely covered in cloth with boots where the cloth is tucked into, wrapping them up tight. And he just kind of sits in the corner flipping them. But he doesn't appear to be more than maybe 3 feet tall. As Zirboss, you notice an interesting feature. There seem to be 2 pointed ears pointing into the back of the hood or the shawl.
Does Zeros recognize this individual or no?
You don't recognize him personally, but you can definitely make out the fact that he's probably some kind of goblinoid.
Zeros will simply give a nod and try to follow whatever Staccato is doing.
Well, look who they brought me in here. If it isn't old Pricklebeard.
Aye, good to see you again, old Red Comet. How's life been treating you?
Oh, I mean, every day in this empire feels like it's, what's the word? Torture. But I guess it's been better than normal.
Aye, I get that.
What can I do you for, Pricklebeard? You know my time's valuable. I didn't expect to see you again. Figured you'd be working with the higher-ups.
Real quick, does Zirboss recognize the name Red Comet or no?
You know that the Red Comet is an almost legendary figure amongst the criminal sort. No one's ever really interacted with him, so the fact that Staccato is able to basically walk into a bar and just talk to this guy like they've been friends forever, he's been doing this a long time, and he's very integrated into this world. You know that the Red Comet is particularly known for almost being like a Robin Hood type figure, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but also not above trying to pursue his own interests. And you remember back to when you were traveling to the Calderon Mountains and traveling with a goblinoid yourself, it wouldn't be shocking if he might also have an interest in the affliction that seems to be attacking all of the goblinoids. In Terzan. Yeah.
Real quick, I think realizing that Zerbos is going to just take a quick step outside, get a glass of white wine and a glass of milk, and come back inside and give Abel the glass of milk.
Abel, you are handed a glass of milk.
I think Abel is just going to take it, and he's just gonna drink. He's not gonna say anything. He's trying to stay as low profile as he can.
Yep, all good.
Aye, well, the long and short of it is, we need a place to talk all quiet like about a job we're currently on. Bit of a complicated matter. And I know you like to have your fingers in everything. And there's never anything for nothing. So, what do you say, an exchange of information? I'll tell you what's going on. You give us a place to talk.
I mean, it's going to have to be some very, very good information for me to give you a safe house for the night, but I'm interested, so color me curious.
He kind of throws his cards onto the table and doesn't bother finishing as he lets you speak. Is there anything that you don't tell him about what you're doing for Silus? Unless that's not what you were going to tell him.
Oh no, he's going to tell him everything. Like this is an old war buddy style contact.
Got it.
As
Abel,
you start with Silas, Zeros would pipe up. Are you certain this is wise?
Yeah, there are definitely gonna be something. If you're telling him everything, there's gonna be Abel's hand on your shoulder very, very shortly.
Yeah, you guys would be able to stop him as soon as he started talking. So if you guys want to, in character, figure out what to tell him, by all means.
Abel would stop basically any mention of Silas or Gaius by name.
As you sort of begin that line of topic, Abel, I imagine, putting the hand on Staccato. Zerbos will look towards you, Staccato, and then look towards the Red Comet. The information that we have discovered has very often led to people dying untimely or being chased out of the capital. And while I'm certain this operation is experienced in doing things that are extra legal at best, I would not recommend certain pieces of information being shared so freely, not without purpose.
Aye, but you also say that like he doesn't already know a good bit of it.
Well, then I'd like to hear from him. What do you know of our situation, Red Comet?
He kind of leans back in his chair.
I heard you two was helping old Zokel out with something. Something in the mountains. Right around the time that Big Bang happened. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you tell me what all that's about, and I'll give you a place to stay for the night.
You, Zerbos, are a bit surprised because Silas doesn't tell anyone what he sends you guys out on. So for this guy to know that you were working with Zokel, well, yes, he's also a very famous hobgoblin in the Colosseum. No one should know where he went. And yet he somehow does.
Plus,
If you look
I
at-
know, me and Zerbos would know that, once we came back from our mission, we were kept separated, and all of our compatriots lost their memory.
Everyone but you two and Zokel specifically, yes.
So the fact that he knows this is very concerning.
And have you seen your friend?
You'll see a
Have you
knowing
seen your
smile
friend?
on Staccato's face.
And have you seen your friend Zokel lately?
I haven't. They got him on lockdown.
Indeed they do. You know who's holding them locked down?
The Senate, of course.
Do you know which
Yeah.
one?
Does
You
it
don't have
really
to say.
matter? They're all interchangeable.
Some are. Yes. Many are, actually. But there are some who are willing to put pressure behind their threats. Your friend is in danger more ways than one, and we are investigating that could possibly lead to said danger. I have no love for this empire. I have no love for the people who would oppress my kind. But I do have a love in my heart for the innocent. And there are people that if their names are spoken aloud in such a place even as this, as secure as it may be, could lead to innocents dying, and that I cannot abide by.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Sure. That is a 19.
Okay. You watch the Red Comets, whose only eyes you can really see. They kind of squint at you as you kind of speak about wanting to help the innocents and about the necessity of being careful with the names they say. And he raises one of his smaller hands and kind of rubs his chin through the fabric.
I don't know what it is about you, but I like you. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a place to hunker down, but make me a promise, will you? I'll need you to take care of Zokel. The son of a bitch is too stubborn to ever accept help, but it seems like he's got a good lot looking out for him. Call me a people person, but I like to read the intent on folks, and you, even behind your mask, I feel your words are true. The problem with protecting the innocent is it's getting harder and harder to figure out who that is. But maybe you can figure it out better than I can. Staccato can take you to an old safe house I used to use. It's 3 blocks down to the left. There's gonna be a underground passage and a rundown home that nobody uses. Just pull the hatch and stay in the basement as long as you need.
Zerboss will give a kind of courtly bow.
Yeah, Abel will stand up and start to move towards the door. Notably, he hasn't said anything out loud since we've come in here.
The Red Comet will kind of look up and down Abel.
So how long before you turn in your cloak?
Abel sort of pauses, and he's going to just say in Dwarven, "Not yet," and walk out.
Zerboss will
He
look
seems-
towards the Red Comet with a smile, and in Dwarven again. He's alright. For a milk drinker.
You gave
He will
me the
reply. He will reply in Dwarven, continuing the trend of everyone speaking Dwarven.
I like him. Shame about
Zerboss
the
will
upbringing.
Zerboss will simply raise a curious brow, finish off the small glass of white wine before following Abel.
He'll kind of turn to Staccato, being the one left in the room.
Look, you've known me long enough. I ain't good for all this subterfuge shit. I'm more of the brute force, smashy type. Suppose it's good I have those two around to keep my head on my shoulders, eh?
The one in the mask I like a lot. Almost too much. But be very careful about the Mage Slayer. I wasn't kidding. Either he's gonna turn in his cape or he's gonna turn you in. That's how they operate. That's why you never fit in.
Trust me, I've been wary the whole time. You know why. Daughter and whatnot.
She's gonna be just fine.
But not for nothing. Consider it an old emotional indulgence, but there's this gym cutter working in the markets.
caught up in some seedy business. Would you keep an eye on her? Look out for her. Her son's all she's got left in the world, and might just be emotions and old age getting to me, but I don't want any harm to befall her.
I'll see if I can have one of my guys take a look at it.
Thank you kindly for everything. And sorry for imposing on you so suddenly.
He kind of nods his head respectfully and will pick up his cards.
Staccato
Now,
will
if there's
walk out.
nothing else.
He
what'd
just
he say?
immediately goes back to playing. He's like, if there's nothing else, and then immediately goes back to playing.
Yep, Staccato will walk out.
As you guys walk out and the wall kind of closes behind you, you notice that again, until you take a couple of steps away from the wall, no one even seems to notice you. Your footsteps don't even really make sound.
Yep.
And as you walk away and the door closes behind you, instantly that all comes back.
All right.
So you were given a location. Is there anything anybody would like to do in the bar before you leave?
I have one question.
Wait, good.
Oh, you go ahead, Zan.
Zirboss will kind of look around at some of the patrons, kind of seeing his companions. They'll kind of try to size up Abel. Does Abel look tired or exhausted or at all spent on any of their abilities or spell slots?
No, I think he wouldn't be giving anything like that.
And he'll kind of pull Abel aside. You know, I've seen you defeat opponents far larger than you or myself. Take on situations in the throes of combat that I could not dream of resolving. But this subterfuge, I must admit, you're not bad at it.
Abel's just gonna smile a bit. He's gonna say in Dwarvish, "Not as naive as I seem."
I realize my mistake in that. But still, where we are
he's
going now, you need to be even more vigilant.
He nods. He sort of like pauses for a second, and then he sort of leans in closer to Zirboss, and he says quieter. He says, "I think you're a good man, Zirboss. A man of conscience and principle. Somebody ought to protect men like you from a universe that doesn't share your sense of right and wrong."
It's very kind of you to say. Zirboss takes you would probably notice being this close, kind of an uneasy breath out. But there are...
He's gonna start heading towards the door.
But there are men like you that need protecting as well. I will do what I can.
I'll watch
And he
your
will
back if you watch mine.
He will nod and follow Abel out the door.
As all of you, I assume, leave this establishment, Staccato, it doesn't take you much time to follow the directions. A couple blocks down, a quick left, and there it is, a very disheveled building. It looks like it's barely standing. The roof of the second floor is gone. The roof of the first floor, the floor of the second floor, barely has anything left to it as well. As you can see, what's left of the sunlight kind of peeking through and hitting various spots on the ground level. But as you kind of explore and move through some of the rubble of this decaying building, you are able to find the latch to what looks to be an underground basement. And Staccato, as you, I assume, pull up that latch, as you peek inside, it looks like it's actually stocked. It seems like there are water skins down here, very basic rations, pretty much anything that you would need to survive down here for at least a couple of days. If you would like, go ahead and give me an investigation check to see how fresh everything is, just to see when it was stocked.
Certainly. 4.
Hard to say, but considering he says that he doesn't really use this anymore, you're not really sure how old the rations are, but the water's probably still fine.
Gotcha.
But the only way to check would be to probably bite into one. But do all of you follow down inside of this basement?
Yep.
All right. As you pull that latch, there's kind of like some stairs that lead down. It's almost like a tornado bunker in a home. And you can kind of pull the thing down behind you. And there are a couple of candles that you guys are easily able to light. And as you kind of sit in the darkness of this room, pretty safe, unless anybody would like to double check their surroundings, you feel like for the first time you could probably speak freely about whatever you wanted to.
Staccato has complete trust in Red Comet, so he's not going to bother checking.
Now I'm gonna start find like a table nearby and start unloading the papers that I seized from the house.
Easy enough. You're able to spread them out on the table. So you're going to be investigating the papers that you pulled out?
The papers and that textbook that was
Okay.
disguised in trap.
I will say you could probably do either the papers or the book if you wanted to hand one or the other off to either Staccato or Zirboss to look at as well.
I'm going to vote not me because brain not work.
I think I'm gonna hand the book to
Yep.
Zirboss because I think
Okay.
that's gonna be where the best info is, and I think he has the most magic experience.
Okay. Staccato, you can assist one of them. So while you might not be the best at it, you at least could probably assist in some of the analysis.
See, now
Just
we
a
have
matter
a
of who.
twist.
Yeah, who do you help?
I have some magical knowledge because of daughter, so could help Zirboss, but he seems pretty well skilled himself. I know nothing about Abel.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. There is a reason above game I'm offering for you to help either one because I think they're going to need it.
At the same time, the Red Comet did say he liked Zirboss, and that he was wary of Abel. So with that in mind, given the old sort of war buddy rapport he had with him, he's gonna go for Zirboss.
Okay. Zirboss, when you are analyzing the book, give me either an investigation or arcana of your choice with advantage. Likewise for you, Abel, with your papers, whichever one you would prefer.
Oh, 21 Arcana.
Nice.
Didn't even
Alright.
need me.
Yep.
I need you for emotional support, Arcov. I always do.
That's true.
Oh, dirty 20
Oh
for
my
me.
Let's
Gosh.
fucking go.
What
All
is
right.
happening?
I like
Okay.
how this
Locked
is.
in.
This is so now y'all woke up.
I like
At the
how
very
this
end,
is the
y'all woke
Zirboss
up.
Abel third wheel experience starring Staccato Pricklebeard.
Unbelievable. Can you do me a favor, Arcov? Just roll an arcana for me.
You are a cruel, twisted bastard.
No, you're good.
bad.
You're 14. That's not bad.
It's not bad.
What is 0? That's not bad at all. I just was curious. Zirboss, as you are kind of looking over this book, you notice that while the Dispel magic was able to get rid of the Glyph of Warding, as you and Staccato are both able to look over the book, it looks like there are some pages in the back that are of interest, that have some writing in them. And we'll get to those in just a second. Abel, as you piece together some of these different papers, you start to realize that they have very short notes on them. One of the notes specifically says, "We're watching." A second note says, "We have an offer you can't refuse." A third note says, "Teleportation circle." Another note that says, "You have much promise." And a final note that specifically says, "Perhaps you are more useful than we realized. Welcome." And as you're kind of piecing all of those different correspondence together, all of the writing for each note seemingly in a different form of cursive or scribble, doctor's writing, it seems like a different person intentionally changed it up each time. Zirboss, as you flip to the back pages, you see that there are notes. Staccato, you are able to figure out that the penmanship is very trained, and it is not a wild theory to think that perhaps this is Gaius taking the notes in this book. But Zirboss, as you're flipping through it with your Arcana check, something brings you to that back page, and you see a very long spell scribbled out. And it is a spell that makes you pause, because it's one that you know very well, and it's one that maybe you were even theorizing could have been recently used. You turn the book around to all of your compatriots, and all of you see a spell of Modify Memory. And for tonight, that is where we are going to end the session.
Oh.
Nice.
Well.
Yeah. Well done grabbing everything, though.
True.
I'm still upset about the exploded books, but there was nothing for it.
Honestly,
High fives all around.
Yeah, high fives all around.
Doctor.
Yup.
Doctor.
Doctor.
But congratulations. I put more stuff in that house than you guys needed because I figured you guys would probably mess up. So it was just a matter of the clues that... Yeah, which is fine if you miss some stuff because you still got a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, basically, as soon as we saw, like, the teleportation circle, I'm like, okay, so anything very important is not going to be in here. It's going to be on the other side of the circle.
Which, I mean, it may have been, for all we know.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for playing. I really appreciate that. We got to our 3-hour mark, which I'm very happy about. No,
Thank you,
I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed. Arkov, thank you for streaming again. I appreciate it. It was very helpful.
More than happy to be of assistance.
And let's send it around the horn, and I guess we will start where we began before, and that is with one Xanalis Grimm. Tell the folks where they can find you.
That's me. You can catch me over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ChannelsGrim, 7 p.m. PST on Monday, where we're going to do some more Stalwart Souls, D&D campaign run for a few friends, including Edward Bosco here. Then, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil at 1 p.m. PST. We have some more Vecna Eve of Ruin, so if you want to see that, that'll be there. Then, twitch.tv/MontyGlue, Thursdays, 7 p.m. Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We're really far into that module, so if you want to see what the potentially closing chapters of that module is like, that'll be there for you. Then, twitch.tv/DistortionDevil again at 3:30 p.m. PST for some more Cazador's Guide to the Cosmos. Another very fun space adventure, D&D. I'm playing in it, so if you want to see what I'm up to, that's there as well. And I think that's it for me, except for coming right back here, same bat channel next week. That's me.
Fantastic. And now we're going to kick it over to our special guest. He's October come early. It's Sci-Fry. Hi, Sci-Fry.
Hi. You can find me over on twitch.tv/sci-fi. Over on there, you can see Variety Gaming 5 days a week. On Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, you can see our campaign of Draw Steel, which I am running for some of my friends. You can also catch the VODs of that on youtube.com/sci-fi TV, and you can follow me on Blue Sky at sci-fi TV.
Excellente. And a newcomer to this setting, but I'm very happy to have him. Arkov, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on twitch.tv/Arkolf, where I generally stream when I have time. The only scheduled streams are Sundays, which is Baldur's Gate 3 with Edward Bosco, Distortion Devil, and Level 1 EV. And then on Mondays, I'm currently going through Digimon World 3 with Brachiozoid. That is that.
Very nice.
Where can they find
Excellent.
you, Bosco?
They can find me at EdBoscoVA on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and on twitch.tv/EdwardBosco, where coming up next week, we will be back to our regularly streaming schedule. We'll be kicking it off with a doubleheader on Tuesday of some Vecna Eve of Ruin, hopefully, and some more Halo Lasso. We got our butts kicked, but we'll be back at it. Wednesday will be Unexpectables. Thursday should be Throwback Thursday, and then we will go from there. But yeah, you can also find me in Illinois. Exactly, Zen. Also, just as a quick heads up for everybody in case you were curious, I will be running this for the rest of September on Saturday. So we'll have 2 more sessions with this lovely cast. And who knows who else might pop in. You never know. Arcalv showed up today. Who knows who shows up tomorrow. But yes, if you're worried about the cliffhanger, you'll get some resolution this time. I swear, we have 2 more sessions. So yeah, come by and hang out. That being said, we also couldn't do this without our lovely sponsor, Die Hard Dice.
Die Hard Dice!
That is right, Die Hard Dice, where you can grab all of your dice and dice accessories. Pick up a pair of Lies dice. Zan has them, and you can too, to bring them to conventions to have us sign your sack. That's not a euphemism. It's a dice set.
Oh, wow.
And we'll sign it. We'd love to. Also, if you're looking for any dice accessories, you can use the promo code Unexpectables to save 10% on your order. But if that isn't really your swing of things, and I don't know why it wouldn't be, maybe you want some merch of all these cool shows like, I don't know, Gateway, which is normally here on Saturdays, or perhaps some Unexpectables merch. Would you like a workout shirt? Because I have one, and it's pretty freaking cool. So click that link right there in the chat and go grab some. Check out our My Store. It's beautiful. We have lots of stuff. Cups, hats, t-shirts, hoodies. I think we even have keychains. It's great. It's good stuff. Check it out. We also couldn't do this without bits and subs from viewers like you. And we're going to kick things off, if I can scroll all the way up, to Don't Embedded. Thank you so much for the raid once again. Much appreciated. We've also got Midnight White. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub for 62 months. And now we're going to scroll on down. We've got Quests and Chaos. Thank you for the raid of 15. Appreciate the support. Appreciate that as well. And we've also got 100 bits from Zenlita saying, "Hi, Cyberai."
Hi.
I love that you have the exact same hi for everyone. It's beautiful.
It's just 7 more weeks of that.
Yeah, exactly. Just 7 more
sorry.
weeks of us. Yes. And now we need to find somebody to raid. I do see a paper box house around, an Octopimp around. Does anyone have anyone else that they're interested in? Otherwise, we haven't done a paper box house in a while.
Let
Sounds
me
good
take
to
a
me.
look.
I'm in
All
a
right,
paper
let's
box
do
house.
it. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna pray. Oh my gosh, it works! I have the power!
It's working.
I have access! I can raid! So we need a raid message, guys. And I don't think a high sci-fi would be very
What about just
appropriate.
milk?
Milk! I like milk. Milk is good.
Milk.
Milk!
What about forbidden
No, not
yaoi?
Dilf. Blackfoot Ferret. Not Dilf. Yeah, I don't know how we turned into a Yaoi episode halfway through that, but I'm here for it. But yes,
It's just
raid
guys
message will be
being
milk.
dudes.
It's just guys being dudes. High five, Cypher.
Oh my gosh. We will see you all next Saturday. We'll have more of this with this crew. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Terzan Chronicles are back for the month of September. We also have our October lineup coming to you, which is going to be a lot of fun. We will have extra October content because Unexpectables will be running. And we will see you back here on Wednesday for more Unexpectables. So it's going to be a jam-packed October, and we can't wait to share it with you. We will see you next Saturday or on Wednesday, whichever one you choose to show up to. For the whole cast and crew, we will see you on the next one. Have a good night. Raid messages, Milk. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.